I need to
It's the
just like I need to bookmark
Max,
this in my fucking
play the
desktop.
thing.
I'm working on it.
All right, so
You don't understand. I have 5 drives, and I have to remember which fucking folder I stuck this in.
Just,
Oh my
just
God,
pin
Max.
the fucking thing.
you
Already.
don't have
You should
a
just leave
sign
it
L
on.
folder?
You should just leave it on your
You're the king.
desktop at this point.
That's yeah, that's exactly what I just said. I need to pin it to my desktop.
He did the king.
Listen, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over the 7,000 other idiots shouting.
Delicious.
What you eating, Sneaky?
Oh shit! Oril's
So-
got an easy fucking possible
You're eating
bingo
what?
there, diagonally.
Domino's had a 50% off.
That is
Oh,
so easy,
Yeah.
Aura.
Oh man. Or if we get
Damn.
the right fanfiction section, you're gonna get bingo before the end of the night.
Well, I mean,
If we get Ruby, he's getting
feast
bingo.
for
Okay, hang on.
yourself.
If we get Ruby, he's guaranteed.
Okay, so if we can hit Naruto or Harry Potter, there's a good chance he'll get harem bashing and original fiction
Yeah.
all in like 1 or 2 stories.
Well, we're
Yeah.
Pokemon.
And then we would be. Wait, what?
We're Pokemon
Nobody
now.
rolled? Fuck.
Yep, we're
Uh,
Pokemon now.
Well, there goes
Oh.
our hopes of just getting off early
What?
tonight.
No. Harem bashing and original fiction can all be there. Like harem we've seen, bashing we've seen, especially in Betrayal Fix, and original fiction is completely possible with
Yeah, but-
no Pokemon AU.
It's
I
much
feel like
more rare.
I think Sneaky
Not
would
with Harem.
complain about original. I think Sneaky would complain about original fiction in Pokemon if it actually happened. I don't think I've ever heard him complain about that in that
well,
section.
I've seen enough no
It's-
Pokemon AUs of Ash getting with the different women that it would count as original fiction.
No. I mean, it's more like original fiction for the Pokemon section is I would count like, hey guys, here's my version of a Pokemon game. Because
Yeah.
they're always dog shit, right? They're always dog shit. They always try to come up with 200 extra Pokemon on their own. Some fucking retarded gimmick. We're
Or
muted.
they use a bunch of fake mon.
Wait, when did LeMay... Hold
LeMay.
on, when did LeMay say that? LeMay said
3 minutes
that
ago.
at 03. Okay, yeah, no, we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I've seen dozens. The reasons why I don't complain about them is because technically they're a Pokemon fanfic, but at the same time they're not because it's in a new region with new characters, new gym leaders, new power-ups, and they're just trying to write their own, like, this is how I would make Pokemon. It's always dog shit.
My Pokemon
Because-
Sounds about right.
And
You know what? I'm surprised I haven't seen any Pokemon Infinite Fusion fucking stories.
I'm not.
Not at all.
No.
Because it opens up so much more Pokemon to use.
Yeah, exactly.
especially
That's the
for your
problem.
favorite mons. Oh, yeah. Just write the Pokemon you like. Who cares about the others?
Yeah, but it's like you have to introduce it in a way that doesn't make your comments and reviews turn into just, oh my god, you should add X Pokemon, add X Pokemon. Now, don't get me wrong, there is going to be a subsection of people that are always going to say that shit. But, you know, it's like, rah, God came down and was like, you have 1 Pokemon to choose! Most people are going to be like, okay, well,
God of War.
I'm sorry. I imagine I'd like to imagine this happens to the one old hermit out in the mountains. Like, God damn it, Arceus! I keep telling you no. Leave me alone. It's been 30 fucking years.
Mortal,
The one
I have
time-
returned to Earth to give you a place. You still owe me $5.
I don't care how many.
The
times
one
you
time
keep asking
Arceus
me
doesn't take
Pokemon.
notes.
no, that's like, you know,
Um,
if you wanna make a joke out of that, Max, you'd be like, the old man wakes up, goes through their whole fucking morning routine, but every window's covered up. He finally opens up the door to go outside, you know, see the weather. And the second he steps outside, a fucking sunbeam, the clouds part, a fucking sunbeam reaches down him. Mortal, no! Closes door, goes back inside.
It's just like I just wanted to check the crops today. That fucking bitch.
He steps outside. A new head. Get the fuck out!
Fills cup with hot water, walks outside again. Sunbeam comes down, clouds part. Mortal throws hot water hard as possible. Somehow hits Arceus.
I would say it's not quite that level of humor, but there was one I was reading. I'm trying to remember what it was called.
I don't care who the IRS sends. I am not paying taxes. Close his door on
The
God.
one time.
I
the one
lasted
time
80
Oscar Singh
years.
takes no for
I'm
an
not
answer,
going
he
on a
Oh.
doesn't
fucking
fuck
journey.
this. Yeah,
There's
the
one
time
called
Oscar
I
Singh
think it's,
takes
oh yeah,
no
it was
for an
called
answer,
like
we
New
end up with
Beginnings
Legend
or
Arceus.
something. Guy gets sent to the Pokemon world, but is very specifically not going on a journey, mostly because he ended up in the woods alone for a year. So he's like, I'm
Oh.
just gonna run a move tutor.
Oh,
What?
move
Oh.
tutor, nah.
Which
I thought
one's
you were
that?
talking
Going on
about
a journey.
Adrian King. I'm
Oh,
gonna be honest,
yeah.
I thought you were talking about Adrian King there with ending up in the woods because he doesn't really care about going
I
on
thought he
a
was
journey,
going
just
on
to
about the
figure out
one where he ends up in Silver Mountain as a kid.
No, I haven't even read that one.
That one died.
Oh,
Yeah.
It did.
Author tried to do this whole like, oh, actually more people got sent over thing, and then
Oh,
he had the
fuck
character
yeah,
go to
yeah.
Aloa,
Oh yeah.
and then he
yeah,
got
I
sucked
remember.
into an ultra wormhole and got trapped on an alternate Earth where that was being eaten by Guzzlords.
Mm.
you idiot.
Yeah.
And
that
like
was
he lost the plot so hard.
I can't imagine why he would lose that plot. Seems so obvious. He said, lying.
Well, the idea, as he explained, was that the main character was accelerating too fast on the power leveling, and he wanted to offer a challenge to the main character. But
My
you know,
character is advancing too quickly. Yes.
in the
you're
process
you're the
of
one
giving
writing the
Voldemort
plot,
a Death
dipshit.
Star, you know,
I beg the fuck your pardon. What did you just say?
it's a
Give
trope
Voldemort
name.
the Death Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trope.
You know, I'd like to see that trope played out to its logical conclusion, which is how the
I did.
fuck do I run this thing? Because it just gives them Death Star, but not the crew to run it.
Mm.
Magic. He'll figure it out. Of
Will
course, if it's
he?
like
He makes it
just in
sapient.
magic, then it just stops fucking working.
It's
Wait,
like,
chance
like,
to power
uh,
core
Oh,
turns
it's like
into a
Arcanum and
sapient
it
Death
just
Star.
fucking turn.
Oh.
I'm gonna be honest,
explodes.
you guys,
He turns it into
you
a
guys were talking about,
Horcrux.
yeah. You guys were talking about sentient Death Stars. I thought Infant was making a new fic.
Well, you know,
I would not put it past him.
yeah.
Yeah, that's an info thing. He did say he wanted to do a Star Wars story, but after seeing all the bullshit going on with my two Star Wars stories, he decided not
Yeah.
to. So he didn't want to deal with
Yeah.
retards bitching about lore.
Yeah, it's really
But
funny to be
bitching about
honest.
lore is the best part of like consuming
It-
Star Wars.
Now, what
Well-
I will say is, while it's not a Death Star, there is a wonderful gentleman in the EU who absolutely needs to come back. His name is Booster Tarek, and he stole a fucking Star Destroyer. And you know what he did with that Star Destroyer? He turned
Crashed
it into a casino.
Ah, that's fair.
A casino.
He turned it into a
Yeah.
traveling intergalactic casino that also just happens to have turbo lasers.
You know what? This man went.
Well,
I'm gonna
I
get my
mean,
own de-
it's so you can't get away without paying.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you
There's
don't
a-
pay,
this
he
man-
collects. He
This man
collects
said,
it
"I'm gonna get my
turbo
own destroyer with hookers and blackjack," and he made it real.
Yeah.
pretty
So
much.
that when they send the tax collector, he could send the tax collector packing.
No, actually, he specifically is quite friendly with the New Republic because the New Republic was like,
Yeah.
okay, we can't. You did steal the Star Destroyer, but we can't let you have one. However,
bad.
because they're like civilians aren't allowed to have warships. But if you just so happen to mothball those 8 of your 12 turbo laser turrets and 8 of your 12 ion turrets, you could totally keep this. And you don't have to get rid of those turrets, by the way. You just can't have them active on the ship, which was the New Republic's way of saying, nah, go nuts, buddy. And in times of war, we will then pay you the going rate for a mercenary with a warship, and you reactivate. And the rest of the time, he runs a casino.
Amazing.
So he's effectively a privateer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
effectively.
Yes.
Nice.
No,
And
see,
his-
no, it's the issue I have with people who do lore discussions in the Star Wars threads of Signs isn't that they're doing lore discussions, it isn't that they're jacking off about lore, it's that they're wrong about lore,
And it's
and they're
9
having
times
the
out of 10, It's
discussion.
about the Force. It's
Yeah.
about the fucking Force and the light side and the dark side and all this shit. And I've explained it time and time again to the point that I'm blue in the face at this point about it. Oh, God. I have provided quotations from Lucas himself backing up the interpretation of the Force we're using, and they still want to argue.
Well, yeah,
What,
of course.
You
because,
use the
well,
you
you
use the
see,
author of the
you
piece
might
as
have
your
used
source?
words out of the author's mouth, but they are thinking things, and therefore they're more right.
Oh, they're thinking
Yeah.
something, all right.
The amount of times I've seen that argument just like reading One Piece threads, you're just like, these people have to be trolling, right?
Well, that's your first
no, they are
problem.
unfortunately that stupid.
And
reading
before
a
you
One
say,
Piece thread.
well, first of all, yes. Also, I'm using that as an example. You twit.
True.
I'm
Anyway.
just curious how many of them only became fans after Disney acquired it and started pumping out the new movies.
Actually, an
lot,
unfortunate
apparently.
number of them. Yeah, actually, a lot of the ones that are commenting are those sorts of people where they're like, actually, according to the new movies, the Force is only good.
Okay, well,
The
I
Force
will
is
counter-
only good, and you have to do weird things to a lightsaber crystal to make it evil and corrupt its soul. Shut your goddamn mouth.
Yeah.
It's a
I
rock.
yeah, honestly, I'm just gonna rebut with go read the Legends universe, then you uncultured swine.
But they
Because
I've
I'm
done
sorry,
that too.
but
Max,
I
here's your problem. They
missed the
don't
version
read.
of the I missed the version of the Force where if a
Hello, Outlaw.
droid went long enough without a memory wipe, it straight up got a Force signature.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Because
Like
they became people and they got a
R2D2.
soul.
Yep.
On the other
R2D2
hand,
as a
I
Force
do-
signature. He's gone so long without a memory wipe.
on the other hand, I do like the fact that the Force is racist against droids explicitly and hates them in most interpretations.
Well, no, the idea is more
No,
that
it
they're not
doesn't hate
considered
them.
like.
They're just not living beings until they live long enough.
Till they get a soul, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what Disney's canon is, but the old canon was great of like, oh yeah, wait, hang on. Why is this little tin can beeping at me have a Force signature? Why can't I feel this in the Force, Master Luke? What the fuck is this?
Oh, that's my droid, R2D2. He
I'm
has a
sorry,
Force
could
signature.
you imagine the fucking aneurysm some of the older Jedi before the fall of the Republic would
So
have, like,
what you're saying is HK-47 has a soul.
Kit
Yeah,
Fisto
no,
is
HK-47.
like
HK-47 very explicitly has a soul, and it is fucking evil.
Oh yeah,
That's
I was gonna say,
hilarious.
fucking Kit Fisto is
actually
like
see-
powering the New Republic just by spinning in his grave, hearing the droids can use the Force.
True.
No, I think
Knights of the Old Republic
Kit
2.
Fisto would probably be okay with it. He was one of the cooler Jedi.
No, he
Kiadi-Mundi
hated
is one of the
clones.
dickheads. No, Kiadi-Mundi hated
Yeah,
clones.
I would say you're thinking
Mundi
of
is the literal
Bro,
thinking of
Mundi's
penis
the
head.
literal dickhead.
Nose, can you restrict your stupidity to
Nose,
like one time a stream?
I'm sorry. Nose, I need you
No, I'm sorry,
to never confuse Kit Fisto and Kiadi-Mundi ever again. Because Kit
I understand.
Fisto was one of the best parts of the expanded universe, especially in
I
the
mixed him up.
TV
I'm
Clone Wars.
sorry.
No,
He's
you're
so-
not.
They did have
It's
a
not
voice
okay. Punishment.
I
And here
remember they
comes the
gave
fighting.
Fisto a fancy accent, but I don't remember what they gave him.
Pretty sure they just straight up made him like Jamaican / reggae accent.
Well, he was just
Yeah,
Jamaican.
no, I'm pretty
Okay,
sure he was
never mind.
Jamaican. Because they're like, look, his hair is dreadlocks. He's Jamaican. And I was like, oh my god,
That
that's
Oh,
really
seems-
fuck,
racist.
I really should
And,
have
and then
how it
you hear him
works.
talk, you're like, you know what? This is fine. The voice actor's giving it his all.
What is it, Samurai Jack?
It's not quite
yeah,
Samurai Jack, but
So on HK-47 in KOTOR 2, you can actually use the Force Vision power, and I believe you can actually see him using the Force Vision power. So take that for whatever level of canon you want. So, interesting.
to be
note-
clear, it's not just him. You can see both him and T3.
That's right. So yeah, no, little buggers get Force magic just for howling around with a gaping, jagged wound torn into the living force. As a
They
side
just have to
note,
live long enough.
one of
Oh
the
my
cool
god,
things
Aura
Disney
just
did do.
fucking. Aura just wished one of the worst things he could on nose.
What the fuck? What? I missed that. What do you say?
Nerf his favorite Warhammer team.
He wants to see your orcs get triple tapped.
Why? I've already been double tapped. Fuck off.
Fuck
get the
you,
third
get
one
triple
in.
tapped.
Fuck you, Scion player. You deserved it.
Wait,
Get your
well, I mean,
fucking
hold on.
Oculus.
You know, how many nerfs does it take until an orc is a Norf?
About 300.
Very well. May your orcs turn into Norfs.
I'm gonna wish something worse on you.
Okay.
May your faction be squatted.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Actually, aren't we guys?
My faction
I'm gonna
already
be
got
honest.
squatted.
I was half
It's the fucking
expecting,
dwarfs.
I was
Dork.
expecting the Netflix adaptation insult, to be honest.
Oh, very true. Well, you know, Swiggity
yes.
Swooty, I hope Netflix
Oh no,
takes
no,
all
no,
of
no!
your childhood
Netflix
memories
would
and
never
ruins
have
them.
the balls to adapt orcs ever.
No,
Ah.
no. I'm talking about, like, I hope your favorite franchise gets Netflixed. Like the
Kinda
Netflix
wanna see
That
a
would
adaptation.
also get
live-action
some of my
Diggin'
favorite
Ogs
franchises.
adaptation.
So
See, actually, it'd be really funny if Netflix did.
Your faction be decanonized. Oh, yeah, right.
It'd be really funny if
That's more
Netflix
explicit. I
did
like
like a live-action orc story, because they would do something really racist, like make all of the orcs black or something. They would.
Sneaky, they already did.
And
That movie is
the
called,
stinger for episode 1 is the reveal of the big bad war chief. That's a girl.
It's a white girl.
they
Oh, Jesus.
they somehow make a female. Nose, I curse you to have female orcs.
Oh, God.
True. They have to, and I curse you to not only have female orcs, but they have to all be stronger than normal orcs.
I can't even reverse curse you because they already hit your faction with it. Damn, I'm sorry.
What, bro? There've always been female guardsmen, and they fucking rock.
Custodes.
Oh, yeah, I'm not a Custodes player, so I
I'm the Custodes player, you ass!
You just threw a shotgun shell at Ray for some reason.
Fucking Atin over here taking shots at Nose, and Nose comes out the shotgun, turns around, blasts Gray.
Gray was just
Common left
chilling.
for dead occurrence.
Meanwhile, I'm just over here with like, yeah, dude, we've had fucking badass women in the guard for forever. I will point you to Sergeant Ripper Jackson.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of good characters like that. I was saying more Imperium in general suffers from that. Because of fucking new shit.
For anyone who hasn't seen,
Korean face.
For anybody
so
who
glad.
ever complains that
Alvor,
there are
thank
not
you for typing
strong
that
women.
and not listening.
I would just want to say, just for anyone who ever says there are not strong women in the Warhammer 40k universe, that
Oh my
aren't
God,
sisters in
no.
battle, this woman,
Alvor's so right.
Look at this.
Alvor is so right, though. They would totally do that. It would absolutely be black actors, but they paint their face green, and
Green
that's why
face.
they're called orcs.
Oh my God.
They would
They wear
so
green
do
face,
that.
yes.
I hate that I can see it, and I don't like
The
that.
Tyranids would just be. The Tyranids would literally just be mutated cannibals who are misunderstood.
Yeah.
No, see, if you
100%.
believe Twitter, they would
They
have.
also had a-
No, if you believe Twitter, they would have. Can I say this? I don't know.
No. No.
Probably not.
Anything that says if you believe Twitter, any statement following that.
The fucking moment you said, should I say this? It's like, maybe that's your warning, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
If you have to take a moment to think about it, you've thought about it and you know to keep your
Yeah,
fucking mouth
no, you can't say that.
Wait, did Doge just send it to you? over
Yeah,
the-
he did.
Okay, no, hang on.
You can't
You
say
gotta,
that.
Sneaky, you gotta share. in the DM.
No, I absolutely cannot share this with anyone.
Yes.
I said in
No.
the DM.
Whoa.
That,
It knows right.
He's
Even
saying.
Sneaky's like, I can't share this, period.
No,
Worst
hang
part
on.
is this
If
happened.
Sneaky can't share it. You know
Sneaky,
it's bad.
People were
Sneaky.
making a
You know what?
comparison.
Okay,
Hit
you
me
know
with
what?
the
No,
text.
I want.
Hit me
Yes,
with
I'm
the text.
I'm hitting you with the image. That's what I'm doing. I'm hitting everyone with the
Okay.
fucking image, so no one can ever
Oh.
mistake me for saying this.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh, here we go.
No, you know what? That was a thing that people were saying on Twitter. That's the worst part. I've seen that argument.
yeah.
It's the
You
worst.
can't say it, but he's right. People were making this exact statement.
I hate
Yes, I
it. It
recall
kills me with
that.
so
I
much.
saw
Wait,
that
are
on
you
Twitter.
serious? Like people were actually genuine. Like
Yes.
this isn't like
Yes.
Yes,
They were
Jesus
they were.
Angry about
Christ.
it now.
Comparing that faction with a real world group and
Yes, it was exactly.
referencing
I
a certain
brought up the
historical
rage
event
again. I
occurred
brought up my
in
own anger.
Denmark.
Bring out my own blood levels again. Fuck.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on?
Hell.
It's bad.
Twitter's hell.
It's hilarious. It's a Twitter take,
Oh.
yes.
It's a
Yeah,
Twitter
no,
take that we
Sneaky,
cannot
that was a
repeat.
thing for about like 3 months where you had a group of activists from that group actively going, this is
me.
No,
mid-century German
no.
propaganda.
If
Like
that
was a thing for a while.
No, that wasn't from said faction. That wasn't from the said group. This was just crazy people online saying this, and then that particular group picked it up and ran with it because it was public and easy to
Yeah.
latch on to. They didn't
I
start it, but
guess
they
maybe-
sure as
Yeah,
hell
no,
said,
I
"Fuck yeah, we can write it."
genuinely
they might
hate
not have
that.
started
No,
it, but
that
they
is.
definitely picked it up and ran with it.
God. Oh, I mean, I saw all the people that were flipping their shit about free run where they're like, oh my god, demons are just like insert group
Insert
here. And I'm just like, oh,
group.
Jesus Christ, guys. Like, holy shit.
I see
Please
that
stop
shit
talking.
yeah.
Please, for the love of God, stop
Florida.
polluting this area with your.
You're in a
My-
racism contest, but your
my-
opponent is.
Yeah, no, okay, okay. We're
favorite part
we're
about
moving
the
on.
veterans
We're
stuff.
moving
We're
right
moving on.
along.
We're moving on,
We
we're
don't
moving
need.
on.
No, hang on. I want to go back to Freeman real quick. Just like I love that
Yeah,
the author went
yeah.
out of their way to break media literacy by giving explicit examples of why the demons are the way they are and why they cannot
Yes.
fit in with the rest of the sapient species.
No,
And
I do
people
appreciate
still
that.
didn't get it.
No, yeah, I definitely do
Free run is
appreciate
great.
that. Where in free run, they multiple times it's like free run was just like, yeah, you know, demons, blah blah blah. Everyone's like, no, they're not. And then the author proceeds to have like the next mini arc be, no, actually, she's right.
Yeah, the
Demons
author was
are
like, I am,
everything she
I am-
just said.
the author was like, I'm going to throw subtle media literacy out the window and give you explicit stories and examples from several first-hand eyewitnesses, including
Yeah.
the demons themselves in some instances.
Like,
Yo,
Look,
that
they
that
genuinely
that
love
scene
that.
was so good though. Like, oh, I too have lost a father. What's a father? I don't know. It just makes them like sympathize with you when you say that to them.
It-
And I'm just like,
If you call
holy
out mama,
shit.
it
Yeah.
makes them
Yeah.
hesitate.
Yeah, I remember
No,
one point one of them's looking at another and it's like, you know, you look young enough. If you're ever in trouble, just like call out for your mother. I don't have a mother, neither do I, but they usually won't kill you if you say it.
and like the one
Yeah,
demon who
it's a
tried
magic
to.
word. It makes humans hesitate to kill you.
I love the
Yeah.
one scene where like
No,
the demon goes fully explains like, yeah, it's easier to get close to you people. You guys are like that gullible, and him was like,
Yes.
just finish her.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because him was like,
Himmel
I'll
eventually
take
came
him was like, I'll take a chance on this. And the moment it backfires, all right, I'm
Kill it.
owning up to this. Give me my sword.
Actually,
And then Friggin'
I'll take
finish
care of
finish the
myself.
demon off.
That was my favorite part.
It's my
Himmel just
mistake.
being like, Freerun, I want to trust you, but I have to try this at least once. And it's like, all right, Freerun, you're right. I'll be back in a second. Like, holy shit.
oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
He's just like, all right.
Maxwell, actually, I can explain why they think that way a little bit. If you want to give me
I-
30 seconds.
Nah.
Is it
No.
is it okay to broadcast this
No,
over
no,
Twitch,
yeah.
or should
We're
you say it in
We're
text?
just gonna keep going. We really don't need it.
Yeah.
We
No,
had
it's-
one
it's
spicy
entirely
take
fine
for
to
tonight
broadcast.
where I had to bring up old anger again.
Yeah. You do that often. The ending and why. Dwarf player. Anyway, moving on. So, video games, Pokemon. Everyone should go check out that Pokemon comic I just posted. Very funny.
Like enough.
Oh, that one.
A
I saw that. I'm like, where's Greg?
very cruel and unusual punishment.
Yes.
Oh
I
yeah,
have been
that one.
pinged twice now before it.
I DM'd it to Gray once, and I think someone else sent it to me.
Yeah,
Shadow
the
sent it.
Shadow sent it, yeah.
People know what I like.
Indeed. Okay, so, hey, wow, crazy. So, you know how that thing I was talking about with Pokemon stories?
Okay.
Guess what our first story of the night is?
Oh no.
Yeah,
The thing
exactly.
you were talking about.
That thing I was talking about. Pokemon Crash Bandicoot version.
What?
I'm sorry?
Fucking excuse you?
Huh?
Yeah.
Is this a properly
This is an
Mark
unannounced crossover.
crossover?
All right.
Do I have this?
I'll mark
Unlabeled
that down.
crossover. Let's go.
Unlabeled, I do. Yep.
Yep, unlabeled
have
crossover.
it?
Let's see. Do I have unlabeled
Nope.
crossover? Does no,
I don't have
it.
it.
Damn it.
Damn it.
All right, so let's open this up here and we'll take a peek. Okay. Oh well, yes. So obviously, yeah. That's the whole
Well,
thing with the thing. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I actually like on a fundamental level, I understand this. I also think it's stupid because it's ignorant of the actual terms being thrown about by people claiming making these claims.
It's also incredibly ignorant of the fact that different types of intelligence exist inside of each species.
Yeah, there's that too.
I mean, fucking hell, we have dog species that are wildly different in terms of awareness and intelligence.
Yeah.
Things
Like-
I cannot say.
I know.
Well, I would say, listen, whatever you're thinking,
Keep it to
keep
yourself.
it to your goddamn self.
I am.
But like, listen,
I
like,
mean-
right? Like, we have cats. Cats can open doors.
Yes.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, if you want an even more extreme example, whales are actually a great example. So the orca and the dolphin, right? They are both conscious. They're able to remember people, recognize themselves, invent games to play, follow along with games, know how to exploit rules. Like, I mean, there's a famous case of where an orca was, it was either an orca or a dolphin, that would get fed whenever they brought trash from their pond to their caretaker. In SeaWorld, I think it was, or whatever. And
Yeah.
so they were rewarded for bringing trash up. Now they thought, oh, well, we'll get the trash out, they get some food, everyone wins. Well, again, intelligence underestimated here. The dolphin or orca tore
Dolphin.
apart the
It was
object
dolphins.
in question and brought up bits and pieces over time whenever they were hungry to get
It
extra
was the
food.
dolphin.
Or dolphin.
Yeah.
Um,
And
And-
elephants have done the same. In
yeah,
land-based
exactly. And
elephants.
so, like, there's clearly, like, they know the rules. They understand the exchange, and they know how to exploit it. And I think exploitation is probably the clearest sign of intelligence, because it means you understand the abstract concept of what something is happening, right? Like, a mouse understands when they step here, food comes out. They don't, like, they're not thinking about, like, the mechanism. They're not thinking, like, oh, if I jam the mechanism open, more food will come out or something.
Yeah.
But of a sufficient enough intelligence, yeah, you have shit like octopi clogging certain systems to cause an emergency reaction to occur in their tank, which enables, like, a latch to open so they can push open the latch so they can go eat the mussels in the tank next to them.
Yep.
Like,
Wasn't there a thing about like a whale or dolphin that would like bait seagulls to kill them?
yeah,
Yes.
orcas. Orcas, yeah. Orcas were
Orcas do that
baiting
all the time.
seagulls to eat them. Yeah.
And then there's the dolphin abuse pods.
Yes. Well, I mean, orcas do that too. So orcas and dolphins
orcas too.
are incredibly violent in some of the games they play if they decide to be violent. If they consider you an object to play with and not something to interact with, they'll do everything from rip you apart one limb at a time just to watch you squirm in the water to rape you to death.
Yes. However, if they do decide that they like you, they will absolutely pick you up and carry your ass to shore if they feel like
Yeah,
it.
they'll fully understand that you're not able to breathe underwater, and they'll like lift you out of the water.
Yes.
They actually have a very wide range of intelligence and understanding of situations, and that's what I'm saying. Though is like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh well, you know, dolphins and orcas are ethical. It's like, no, they're fucking not. Not by human
No.
morality.
They don't
No
even
way.
know their own morality.
Are you
Dolphins are
telling me
actually
if I told
fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
if I told a dolphin to read, would they have better reading comprehension than the average fan fiction reader?
Yes.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Damn.
Yeah, actually, there's a
I'm just
higher
remembering
probability of that than you realize.
Yes.
I've just remembered now that Sneaky talked about it. Orcas.
Oh
kill
yeah, yeah.
people
Orcas have their own
directly.
dialects. Yeah, yeah. Certain pods will
Yes.
actually have language drift.
Also, orcas and dolphins have been known to learn how to read English, Russian, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
So they know what
recognize
boats to
this
go near
word
and what
means-
one go away. Yeah.
Yes, this word means food, fish, whatever.
Yeah.
Also, a reminder: octopi are fucking terrifying.
Yes,
They're cute.
octopi and squids. Yes, but they're very, very intelligent.
I honestly, I don't know too much about squids because I know they're kind of like a deeper sea.
Squids are terrifying.
Squids are
They're
just
cannibalistic bastards.
some
Yeah.
more
At least.
evil octopi.
They
Yeah.
will eat each
Octopi
other
are
at the
playful.
moment's notice.
Squids are tasty.
Yeah. Octopi are playful. Squids are more predatory, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't
like,
be
there's a-
surprised. I
Just
mean,
as intelligent, though.
yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, like their entire fucking skull is a brain. So
Yeah, their whole head is a brain.
Yeah.
Then you get into cuttlefish, which are an entirely different.
yeah, yeah.
Just as smart as an octopus.
It does a good job of asking awareness, self-empathy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, orcas can. Well, see, that's the thing, right? Is that that's why we actually kill orcas that start hunting for sport because orcas still haven't quite grasped the whole extinction event thing.
No.
It's just like how we have to kill animals that lose their fear of humans in general on land.
Yeah, like tigers that have eaten humans, they have to go down.
It's not just that.
Wolves, too.
It's, you know, wolves, dogs, just
Gorillas.
generally anything.
Yeah, generally anything.
It's a safety precaution for humans, but it's basically a learned behavior for the animal. Orcas that play with their food, they will devastate an ecosystem because, as far as the orca is concerned, food just generates magically out of thin air.
Yeah, they're
so
kind of.
Well, again, it's not a knowledge issue, right? It's just it's a higher level concept. It's just it is what it is. You know, you can explain to the orca all you want that the food has to come from somewhere, but they'll just see the barrel and assume that it magically generates.
I will be.
Well,
back
I mean, as far as they're concerned, it fucking does.
Well, yeah, sure.
Water
You know,
big.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This has just told me that dolphins are about equal to the average fan of Bethesda games.
True.
That is
Yes,
a low
very
bar to
true.
clear.
I honestly, I
though.
do hate Bethesda fans the most. The normie Bethesda fan. It's honestly very frustrating because Bethesda games in general have usually a lot of fucking lore going on, and the normie Bethesda fan knows none of it, understands none of it. even the stuff that's explicitly explained in, like, quests, just goes completely over their head, and they just say the dumbest shits. They just say the dumbest shit possible. I will say, I don't know if I ever posted this video here. A gamer guy on YouTube got his wife and got like a wife playing game series where he makes his normie wife play various video games that were popular.
I've seen those. They've been recommended to me. I've never watched them.
Yeah, they're actually very interesting. They're very tough to watch. Don't get me wrong. They're very tough to watch, and he does go over it where like these sorts of people just they kind of make these really weird assumptions about games. I watched the one where his wife was playing Cyberpunk, and she didn't understand leaning over cover, so she never did it, and instead constantly would crouch far behind the cover, like far away from the cover, and then would uncrouch to try and pop over the cover to shoot.
I mean,
That-
okay,
what?
in fairness, the Cyberpunk cover system is one of the worst.
It is kind of crap, but
Yes, but here's the thing, right? Like, so to a normal gamer, you see cover. One of the first things you check in a lot of games with guns is, can I lean
can I
around
have
the
that?
cover?
Sure, but that's for people who've played a bunch of video. For someone who hasn't,
Right, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but even like child me tried to go up to cover and shoot around it and try and figure out a way to use cover to fire my gun.
And most
but that's just it.
games
She did.
explicitly
But that's just
spell
it.
this
She
out
did
for you.
find a way to use cover to fire her gun. Not necessarily the best way, and certainly not the way the game intended. But
Yes, but
Okay,
no.
yes, putting an object between yourself and the enemy, even if you're further away from the object than intended, is a good strategy. Yes, but most
Right,
people
but that's
are
sort of
gonna
my
use
point,
cover
though.
for the intended purpose.
Right, but that's sort of my point, is that she never went near the cover because in her mind, going near the cover would point her gun in the air, and she wants her gun pointed at the enemy. And so she would stand far away from the cover and make it like an object in between her and the enemy instead of like
I
actual
see.
cover.
Okay,
Yeah.
kind of, yeah. But
That's
like,
dumb.
there are definitely. Look, all I'm gonna say is there are far more explained and less obtuse mechanics that would make that point much better.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
certainly. No, don't get me wrong. And I did agree with him on this when they went through the tutorial. The tutorial did not explain things correctly, did not explain things with enough time to normies. To someone who's familiar with all the systems, it explained it just fast enough as you needed it.
Yeah.
But to someone who has never experienced a shooter game before, definitely they explained it very poorly in a lot of things. Another thing that I was really irritated by, which apparently is something a lot of people do, like a disgusting amount of people do. I think it was someone at Blizzard one time ran a poll, and it was like 98% said that. No, not 98. 92% said this. People that don't read what's on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've.
Like,
I mean,
hmm.
look,
like
even
that's what,
we, all of us, I'm sure at one point, have been guilty of not fucking reading something on the screen.
No. I always pause to read everything I can on the screen. Now, it disappearing too quickly is a different thing. But, if I can, like, even in fucking Elden Ring, I paused at every single message to make sure I read them to, even though it was the same fucking controls. I still paused at every single message.
When games have bad design where you've got to read a message while there's active combat going on and you're getting hit while trying to read it, that's
absolutely.
Ooh,
I
shit.
understand, and like, don't get me wrong, I understand why that kind of gets lost on a lot of people. It's like, oh, I have to fight. I don't have time to read messages. And then by the time the fight's over, they're like, oh, I should just keep going. And they completely forget about the message. That's completely different. But I'm talking about like a whole ass introduction to how hacking works shows up in Cyberpunk. And if you just mash A, you skip over it. And it never comes up again.
Usually, though, you can go back and read some kind of a log.
Yeah, usually
or
there's a tutorial.
I was elected to
Something.
lead, not to read.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you, Zap. But you know, it's a really baffling thing, especially like it's one thing to not read when you understand or you think you understand the scenario, and you just kind of bull forward. That's one thing. I get it. But if you have no idea, if you're sitting there like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here, and you're just ignoring what's on the screen, it's like, I understand there's 7 different pop-ups trying to tell me what to do, but I don't read no fancy words. I'm playing a video game.
No. Okay. Worse is the game design where they don't do that. They kind of expect you to just figure it out or play with it and figure it out or just fucking psychically look up their ass and read their minds to know what the hell you're supposed to do.
That's just bad game design. That's not a normie issue. That's just bad game design. Asmongold does this. No. So I think streamers have a bit of an excuse for this because streamers, good streamers, let's be clear. Well, no, streamers have a decent excuse for this, right? Because they're supposed to be entertaining. They are entertainers. They are not game testers. They're entertainers. Their job is to entertain you. They can't do their job of entertaining you if they're playing the game, reading all of the pop-ups, reading chat, and also thinking of responses and funny things to say to keep the conversation going.
Yeah, I would say something's got to give there, and guess what? It's gonna be reading.
Yeah. And I mean, not only it's like a double whammy, right? Because reading is a lot more difficult if you're already trying to read chat and think of shit. So it's already hard to also read another source and like comprehend and integrate the lessons it's teaching you from that at the same time. That's already difficult. But if you don't read what's on the screen and then fuck up a bunch, chat gets to laugh at you. Your job is complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I totally get how it ends up that way, but that's why I don't watch that's why I don't watch streamers in general do first time runs of anything, because they're just gonna fuck it up really bad. That's why I didn't watch a lot of HoloLive, like ever play any game besides Gura, because Gura was always funny. But yeah, I just generally don't watch the HoloLive girls because they're very sporadic in the games they play and when they play them. And that's because of Japanese culture. And it's very frustrating. PewDiePie got famous screaming rape while playing video games. PewDiePie got famous for doing a lot of things while playing video games.
A lot of stupid things, yes.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It doesn't work anymore now.
Kid. He was playing a character.
Yeah. He's got 3 kids now, I think.
2, no, one with one on the way. But PewDiePie was one of the first. We brought this up like last week. Anyways, PewDiePie was one of the first to actually start doing funny voices in games and giving characters voices, like with his Happy Wheel.
That's
videos.
true, yeah. Yeah.
That's why he was the creator of that niche.
I don't know if you can really call a PewDiePie watcher a niche. Like,
no, I mean, the voices.
Kind of the biggest YouTuber on the platform ever.
No.
I don't really know if you can call him a niche.
You know, I
meant the voices. How many people nowadays make those weird voices for characters like properly?
Oh yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, it's sort of like, you know, it's one of those things that seem obvious in hindsight.
Yeah, but now if you do it, you're just a PewDiePie copier. That's the thing.
Not at all. Not even slight. I've never even seen someone say that about someone.
Really?
Especially, not now. Maybe back in the day when PewDiePie first started doing it, and then Jacksepticeye and Markiplier kind of copied his style on that. I saw comments about, oh, you're just copying PewDiePie. But, like, now? After the dude's retired? No. Counterpoint is watching Hollow Girls get invested in the games they're playing, like Gura with DMC, Fauna playing Hitman. Yeah, but that's sort of like... It's a lot of gamble, you know? Because it's like, oh, but what if they don't like the game? What if they're, like, really bad at the game at first? It's like, you have to watch them for 3 hours before you can tell if you like them playing in the game or not. It's like, I don't know, that's a lot of hours. I gotta invest in this gamble here to see if they like it.
That's why I only watch them play sequel games, because that means they like the first one so much that they got invested in it.
True, yeah.
Like the Yakuza series, watching people go through that, if people can get through the first game, their first Yakuza game, they're probably going to play the rest of it because they like it so much.
True, yeah.
I couldn't get fully through the first game, but yeah.
I could not get through a Yakuza game. I've never beaten one. The closest I ever got was like a dragon. And what really just murdered me was the end. Because I reached a level wall, effectively, a grind wall, where I just had to get a bunch of classes at a higher level, and I had to go through a bunch of grinding shit, and it was the most boring fucking shit in existence.
Was it the Majima fight, or the Kiryu fight?
Yep, Majima.
I mean, I'd never touched like a dragon because I don't get the Yakuza games for RPG gameplay. I want to beat 'em up. I want the action. Why are you wasting my time with this?
5. Mine was Yakuza 0, and I just got bored of the same stuff over and over. Like the minigames.
Well, I tried Yakuza 0 as well, and I kind of just I lost a fight to Mr. 1 Million or whatever the fuck his name was, and I was like, Max, I can't play this game.
Yeah, and it's not even that. Like,
it
never really changes. Even when you unlock all the styles, it never really changes. Mr. Shakedown can still kick your ass.
Mr. Shakedown,
and then, the fights are all the same. Like, so in the end,
I tried to play that new one where Kiryu was some sort of bodyguard, and I was just like, I slept on that one as well. I caught it like 2 chapters in, and I was like, all right, no, I'm not having fun. Yeah, it is what it is. But, anyway, so Pokemon Bandicoot version. So anyway, the protagonist we have here before us is Crash Betchum.
What? Fuck you, author.
Pokemon.
Okay. That's a choice.
Yes. He is on a journey to become Pokemon Master. He will act a lot like Ash, but will actually age up and mature. And he'll catch, evolve, and train Pokemon that Ash never did. So he's better than Ash. You should read my story instead of Ash.
Very daring, I see.
And he'll also go out of his way to not catch Pokemon that Ash caught. How will his journey pan out?
I guarantee. Wait, no.
Probably like Ash's.
This isn't a Crash Bandicoot.
You're right. This isn't Crash. You're right. My bad. This is not a Crash Bandicoot crossover. I just thought they was so fucking stupid at the start. I thought it was a Crash Bandicoot crossover. But no,
they said Crash Edition, so I understand where that came from.
I could see this as an OC self-insert, thinking that I can do it better, though.
Oh, it's 100% OC self-insert. I can do better. And also, the author goes out of his way to point out the fact that he's going to catch the Pokemon Ash did, and he's not going to catch the Pokemon that Ash did, because he wants to be different from Ash, because different is better.
That's so fucking dumb.
Well, welcome to how retards think. There is far too many people in this world that think just because you do something different from what is popular, that somehow makes you more media literate, that makes you enlightened.
It makes you unique and good and better.
I alone am the enlightened one. To be honest, if I ended up in Pokemon, assuming it's not the Grimdorp hellscape, I'll probably be over the moon.
Yeah.
Get a Lux right. True.
Sounds
yeah.
like a nice vacation.
I mean, it really depends. Now, it really depends. So, even if it's not the Grimdorp hellscape, as long as I get the Pokemon body out of it, I'm okay.
Yes, obviously.
Because a Charizard playfully casting flamethrower at me will definitely 100% kill Normie me.
Yes.
So I want some of that sweet Pokemon universe body protection.
Yeah, oops, I got hit with a lightning bolt.
What I think actually happens is that you attract a small niche of people who are ass-kiss you. True. Yeah, no, very true. It does happen. I think that's why it's so prevalent, is that whenever you write a quote-unquote unique story, you get a bunch of like-minded people who swarm over your story and go exclaim about how unique and awesome it is, and it's unique and awesome simply because it's not whatever is popular, because they put social points, I guess is the best way to say it, into the idea that by being the thing that's not popular, they will get ahead of everyone and be part of the popular crowd whenever it happens next.
They can be the
yeah, they'll be the underdog. Yeah, they'll intentionally be the underdog.
That's boring. Me and Pokemon dressed as Batman with an entire Bat Pokemon team beating up criminals.
I'm Batman! Like Crobat, Zubat, Golbat, Bat.
Swoobat. Even Gliscor and what is it? Gligar are sort of Bat Scorpion likes.
Pokemon humans definitely have some unconscious usage of aura. 100%. No, 100%.
Yeah. Ash can pick up 200-pound Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Ash is
into a
wild.
small form.
Oh no, Ash picks up more than 200-pound Pokemon. Ash fucking benches like a whole ton.
Yeah, no, and he's not the only one. Others do as well.
Yeah. No, 100%.
He did just straight up die like 2 or 3 times though.
Oh no, yeah, but don't forget the gag.
Sure, but he came back. He got better.
Yeah, he got better.
Brock regularly takes poison jabs from Krogunk.
Yeah, it's true. Poison jabs, whole ass poison jabs. Yeah.
Mm.
I really like. There was one story for Pokemon I was reading where they had this idea that the Pokemon trainers typing, the reason why you see so many specialists, is because of the bond that is formed between the Pokemon trainer and the Pokemon. Because humans have an untyped aura, over time, the more time they spend with certain Pokemon, it'll start to type their aura.
Yeah.
And so, like, water-type trainers will actually be better swimmers and be able to hold their breath longer. Fire-type trainers will be less prone to being burned. Dark-type trainers are sneakier, more malicious, because that's just, like, the aura affecting them.
Fairy-type trainers belong in mental asylums, but no one can catch them.
True. Well, now, to be fair, the fairy-type trainers, fairy-type specialists, they did exist, that's right, in the French one.
Yeah.
And the entire town was fucking insane. So, I think it's fair. No, like, there's a lot of citation that I've seen people pull up where it's like, you know what, that's a fair point. Where, like, people will be like, supporting the whole type theory. There is a human-like egg group for some reason. Well, they had to test it out.
Field egg group.
Glitch at die or anything?
No, Phoenix just said something I can't repeat out loud.
Oh, I see what you.
So anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of really creative, interesting ways you can write a Pokemon story. So it's always really impressive to me when people like this come out and they manage to somehow fumble the whole thing. And I've said this before. Sure, yeah, but I mean, like,
specialist 11th one is one that's fully clothed because their body heat runs warmer, so they're always wearing as little as they can.
What?
I was just thinking about different aura types for, and I might have said that out
You
loud.
did.
I have no idea what you're trying to say, but okay, we're moving on.
I was trying to think of different. Yeah, whatever.
You have fun with that. So anyway, as I was saying, it's really fascinating how these people manage to just continuously fuck up. And I've said it before, I've said it in the past. DeviantArt and Fanfiction.net are kind of similar in that it's like, oh, well, you post all your shit to them. It's like, oh, I'm drawing now. These are my drawings. And the drawings are probably pretty bad at first. Some people stay bad for 10 years, but, is what it is. And Fanfiction.net's sort of the same way. But I think the difference I feel between posting a fanfiction story and posting a picture is even if posting a fanfic story and posting a picture might have taken the same amount of time.
Sorry. I need to interrupt the stream. My sibling. We had pizza last weekend. He took the leftover pizza, put it in a pizza box, and left it in the oven. This was discovered 5 minutes ago when it fucking caught fire.
So now you have big old moldy burnt pizza.
Amazing. Just amazing.
So you put the fire out, right? Everything's okay?
Oh, everything's fine.
No, his house is burning down. He just came out to tell us this.
Listen. I'm working on saving the computer right now. This is just incidental while I complain. Everybody, wireless headsets.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought I had one to become an influencer.
Even if you don't make it, I'm just gonna DMPC your character in the boss fight Sunday, okay?
That's fine. That's fine. Make sure you, when we get offered ultimate power, make sure to team kill them.
Obviously, as one does.
Listen, Slav has a 50-50 shot of doing that to you guys anyways. I'm not sure how I'm gonna handle it if he decides to.
Yeah.
Sort of has a booby demon on standby.
Anyway, I think the time it takes, right, to read a story puts the I don't want to say onus, because it's not onus. But I think it's different if someone's just posting like, hey guys, they might have spent 10 hours on it. It might have sucked shit. But it takes you a whole 1 second to look at a picture, right? So if someone posts some dog shit picture, you look at it, you're like, that's dog shit, move on. But like, maybe someone takes 10 hours to write a chapter, and they make like a decent, interesting idea on paper in the summary. And you're like, okay, let me read the chapter. And you read the chapter, it took you like an hour because I don't know, whatever reason. It was 15k words long, 20k words long, 50k words long, whatever. It took you an hour. And by the end, you're like, wow, this is dog shit. I fucking hate it. Like, that's a whole hour you lost because of their incompetence. And I'm not saying people shouldn't post their stories, but I am saying people shouldn't be surprised when someone comes along, spends an hour of their life reading their story, and then goes, your story is shit, you're shit, fuck you.
Well, it's more time investment that they could have been doing literally anything else more enjoyable. So, of course, they're going to be pissy.
Yeah.
Completely understandable.
And it's also at the same time, right? I feel it's like in the same section of conversations, right? I don't want to read a fanfic story about your self-insert and how big his dick is and how he's smarter than everyone and is gonna fix the obvious problems in this story that no one seems to be able to understand how to fix. I don't want to read a story about that. Just like I don't want to hear you tell me the fucking idea to that story when I'm in a conversation with you. You know? We're sitting there, we're talking about Pokemon, and you're like, oh, dude, I have, like, this great idea. And you spend the next 30 fucking minutes telling me about how basically your entire idea can be summarized with, I'm gonna be in Pokemon, my dick is gonna be huge, and it's gonna be great. And it's just like, I don't fucking care. I don't want to hear about it. Everyone has those ideas. You're not unique. You're not original. You're nothing you think
certainly
about.
Not talented.
Yeah, exactly right. Nothing you think about is going to even approach the realm of originality. So don't sit there with a fucking smug smile on your face like you're the first one that ever thought of it.
I'm gonna reincarnate myself as a pseudo legendary, and I'm gonna find a trainer, and I'm gonna help him get to the top, and I'm gonna be the bestest Pokemon ever because I have a human brain.
By the way, did we ever add
those.
self-collation to the bingo squares?
We should.
Of the
Oh. No, because it's usually covered by another topic. I don't think we've ever had a story that was like purely just self-fellation. Usually, again, like I said, it's usually self-fellation because the author doesn't understand the property they're writing for.
Because I thought this was brought up like a month or two ago when we were in Ruby for a self-insert story. I feel like
it was.
Yeah.
Ruby self-insert story. It was a John self-insert, wasn't it?
Probably.
John Ruby.
My name's John Ruby. Hi, I'm Ruby Rose. So if you marry me, you'll be Ruby Ruby. Of Team Ruby.
Ruby.
They should found a town. Call it Ruby. So she's Ruby Ruby of Team Ruby of Town Ruby.
Mayor of Ruby.
DeRubio.
Mayor of Ruby Ruby of Team Ruby of the Town Ruby. Declare themselves independent. Name the nation Ruby. The capital of Ruby.
Dog. She names it Ruby.
Yes.
You know, at that
No, she
point,
names it
I
Ruby.
think I'd probably be okay with a fic going that direction. Really, just because they're seeing how
It'd be
many
a one
packs they can
chapter.
stack
It'd
on
be a
top of
one
each other.
shot. It'd be a one
obviously.
chapter one shot, but it'd be funny.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious.
That feels like something that should have shown up in Ruby Chibi.
Yes.
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Rooster
Yeah.
Teeth doesn't do good.
No, they don't. But it would have fit Ruby Chibi.
Actually, I think what could have been really funny, a funny Ruby joke to make is make Ruby Rose chocolate chip cookies by adding a sprinkle of rose water to the dough.
True.
But no, I think when it comes to SIs in general, it's like going to McDonald's. You know it's bad for you. You know it's probably not going to taste amazing, but if nothing else, it's greasy and hot and filling.
No, because it's like, I've read plenty of stories.
hot.
I've read plenty of stories that have self-insert characters that were great. They had not original ideas, but they had a cool idea. They executed well in an interesting fashion. Again, interesting doesn't mean unique. Just means interesting. Held my interest. And, you know, they just none of their stories were unique in their ideas. None of them were unique in their executions. It was just done well. You know, it just kept my interest.
To hold your attention, it's worth the price of admission.
Yeah, and not only that, like there's a fair number of them that I actively recommend to other people because they were that good. I don't recommend a lot of stories. And a lot of the ones I've recommended have been SIs. Was that next?
I have found that I don't really.
I was saying that you do not recommend a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Anytime you do, it's like, I should at least check out one chapter to see if I'll like it.
Yeah.
And I usually do preface with why I'm recommending it. But yeah, no, it's just like, can SIs be easy junk food? Yeah, sure. Obviously, everyone's had, this idea of, this thing in this fandom, like, wouldn't doing XYZ cause, ABC? And it's like, sure, yes, you're correct. It does. It's a quick path to power. I mean, it's sort of like waifu catalog stories for a while, where people were basically gaming the system by using low-cost powers or characters in a specific way that would cause them to go to a world where that low-cost character would be untouchable, and then they would stamp everyone, get shit buckets of points, and then buy everything they want. And it basically became a meta to the point where it was like refined over multiple stories, where it turned into a meta of like, this is just what you do, and then it turned into a counter meta where the company knew about the meta and they were doing things to counter the meta. And it's like, okay, fine. But that whole idea developed away from an interesting way of approaching the point problem of waifu catalog and took over the point of the story, which was waifus in a catalog, and like fucking the first 75, 80,000, 100,000 words of any waifu catalog story just turned into, here's me gaming the system with the exact same waifus and the exact same power-ups that everyone else is using.
The last 17 people.
Yeah.
This is actually something I've gotten criticized for, and I think part of this is maybe because I'm a romantic. As I always bring up, writing a DxD story, got some really good feedback, actually. I was basically not accused, but it was pointed out that there's not really a lot of harem in my harem story, and I think I countered back with a joke to the effect of, yes, because I like writing my female characters as people, not masturbatory beings, in a way that's not appropriate for broadcasting. So this is probably just 110% me being in so much of a fucking white knight romantic say a simp. But if I were to write a story where I am the main character and the primary objective of the story is romantic interest, then to me, the most important parts of that story are not only the relationships, but then the active personalities, wants, needs, and desires of the people involved in the relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be insulting myself if I wrote myself as whoops, I slipped and fell face first into the hoo-ha of another 3 women, and I have mind controlled them and attached them to my dimension traveling harem train, and I will casually mention them 15 chapters later when I need one.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
Here's an easy way to explain it, right? Harem stories are for male Redditors who smoke weed.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
I'm not a male Redditor, and I don't smoke
I was about to say.
I don't know, Sign. You certainly have the L's of a male Redditor.
You shut up.
Sign. Serious
He
question
even has the cuck fix. Sign even has the cuck fix for male Redditor.
Exactly. I know, right? He writes so much NTR.
You shut your fucking mouth.
I mean, come on, Sneaky. You can't throw that at him. You also wrote NTR.
Damn, you guys are just evil, man. Like, shit, man.
Are you alluding to the fact that we didn't
comment section agreed. You wrote NTR. You wrote Naruto NTR. The entire comment
Oh,
section.
right, yeah.
Comments can't be wrong.
True. Commenters are never wrong. Yes. True.
So, time. For me, the reason I like harems is because I personally, and I'm aware enough of myself to know this, desire love and affection, and they present sort of an idealized, low effort, and very diverse array of types of love. And especially when I was younger, even necessarily the lack of physical intercourse sort of made it almost chivalrous love.
Well,
and
so here's the thing, right? I was being exaggerative, but I mean, like, what the harem really boils down to is, it's the fucking meme, you know, guy power fantasy. I'm gonna surround myself with women who love and care for me.
Yeah, no. I 110% get that.
Yeah, but no, what I was making fun of specifically, right? But what I was making fun of specifically is that the way a lot of these people, you know, space battles, QQ, fanfiction, the reason why they write the female characters the way they do in harems is because they're treating them like Pez dispensers, where they want a specific flavor of reaction, interaction. That isn't just love. It's like, oh, this is the harem member that gets, you know, the tsundere, so I'm gonna, you know, pop a Pez from the tsundere, write an interaction scene, and then forget about her for 5 chapters.
Yeah, some people do that.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I see a lot of stories treat the female characters when it's a harem story. It's like, oh, it's time for that Pez, that Pez, you know, they gotta dispense another Pez.
Gotta get a new flavor.
And yes, Andros, he did say that. But, you know. It's just... The reason why I said it's like a Redditor with weed is because a lot of these harem stories, especially the ones that use waifu catalog, are a lot of them were about, oh, I'm gonna be evil, air quotes on the evil, where they're never actually evil. They just use mind control to gain consent from the women before they have sex with them. And sure, you can say, oh, that's evil, but not really the kind of dilutes evil. It's a very gray evil, you know?
No, it's a very lazy type of evil.
Yeah.
It's a type of evil that
it's very
is almost acceptable.
Well, no, it's not almost acceptable. It literally is acceptable. It's a major fucking writing section. It's a very popular, just like Monster Fucking's popular for women, the easy Pez dispenser relationship is popular for men.
Because I shouldn't have to put in effort. I should be able to just get what I want when I want. Well, I got news for you, buddy. We have a place for that. It's called Las Vegas. Give it a visit.
But I mean, that's why I described it as a Redditor with weed, because that's how a Redditor with weed acts. They're like, you know, I wake up in the morning, smoke a blunt, eat Fruit Loops, watch Rick and Morty, jack off 9 times, you know, I don't read Nietzsche, but I look at the Nietzsche book on my bookshelf, right all next to my Funko Pops.
You know, that I think that may be the one that annoys me. Motherfucker. Look, I have a lot of problems with him. I think there is some value in reading something like Nietzsche, but...
There's a lot of value in reading his works. Like, there's a lot of value in reading his works. The problem is that people massively don't understand what he's actually talking about in his work.
They think he's advocating for nihilism, when in actuality, he was pointing out the dangers of it.
He is in fact arguing that...
pointing out its inevitability. In a purely rationalistic, materialistic society, nihilism is the only conclusion we can come to, because the human soul needs more than just the material. It
And
needs
yeah,
the transcendental.
and Nietzsche's response to that was, "Fuck that shit. Be the best you'll ever be."
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
I wasn't sure if I was
Ubermensch
actually
is.
able. Yeah. Go.
Go ahead.
I was going to say,
One of you
I'm not
fucking
sure if I
talk.
was actually able to. I wasn't sure if I was actually allowed to say it on stream, so I put in the FFCT 9 the average thought process of the average harem writer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, that yeah, no, yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
wrong.
That's no, it's 100%. I mean, that's why I used Pez dispenser. You know, it's an allegory.
Nice way of putting it. Yeah.
The ultimate irony is
No,
the book called Beyond Good and Evil.
What I
Yeah,
was
no,
gonna ask you
100%.
all along. Go ahead, Sneaky.
Oh, what were you gonna ask, Sign, all along? I gotta hear this.
Why do you like writing harems? Like what inspired you to go down that particular path in the most safe for work way possible?
Give me a sec.
He's horny and can't lock into a single woman.
Yes.
Oh yes, that's absolutely it. You fucker.
So the actual reason is that he's had a lot of really poor life choices, and the reason why he pursues harems is because the only way he'll ever achieve his idealized girlfriend is through the pure fantasy and delusion of writing.
Hey,
Well,
man,
that's actually fairly close to the mark.
I know.
I
It's
can kinda feel
almost
that.
like I spend a shitload of time psychoanalyzing people, Sign.
I said
That's
fairly
crazy.
close, but yes. Right?
Yeah, because I haven't
No,
put that
that's-
much fucking effort into you.
That's a part of it. It's also the whole looking back on a time when it's nostalgia, essentially. On a time when things weren't quite as divisive intentionally as
Yeah.
they are today, before the era of modern internet quote unquote dating and things like that, and
So before
Yeah,
Sign
no.
trips on a landmine face first, he likes it when it was simpler and boy met girl.
yes,
Yes.
thank you. And don't get me wrong, I have absolutely nothing against writing pure monogamy either. I just enjoy
Yes,
also
you
writing
do.
harems.
Yeah, you do.
Foxwife
Come on.
says otherwise.
Where's Foxwife,
Yeah.
you whore?
Where Foxwife?
The one time you tried to write pure monogamy, it was
That
signals
one's
noise.
too painful to write.
I don't have any problems writing monogamy, says the guy deliberately avoiding writing monogamy. Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
that
Sneaky,
one's-
Sneaky,
His
come
last
on.
attempt at
People
monogamy
need
is
to have
signal to
experienced
noise.
something to write it.
True.
I have experienced it. That's the problem.
Are you
I don't
sure?
think you
The
have.
back on that makes
I
it recall painful memory. Don't want to write it. Would rather write fantasy.
True. I like it in my fantasy when my wife doesn't cheat on me.
Right?
Yes, true.
Now, see, listen. If I was an asshole, there's a lot of jokes I could make there. But instead,
Exactly.
we're gonna move on.
Exactly. So we'll move on to what LeMay just said. I say just said, 5 minutes ago said, but still just said. So LeMay said dubious consent stuff. Yes. I don't like dubious consent stuff. I think it is... If it's written one way by a certain demographic, it is, frankly, disturbing. Beyond disturbing, actually.
I think we all know which demographic you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, I want to be clear. I don't care what demographic writes it. It is fucked up, and I will not read. And I want to be clear.
No.
Dubious
One group
consent.
is way worse than the other.
Yeah,
I don't care.
No,
There's a world of difference between.
Well, no, see, here's the thing, right? The reason why I said there's two groups when it comes to this. One group writes it in a way of, oh man, dubious consent, this turns me on. And another group writes it in a way of, how do I best phrase this? I was only following orders.
Oh yeah, I was gonna write something.
I'm just
completely
glad I
different.
don't know what you're talking about.
I was gonna write something completely different in the chat, and I know where that's coming from. Yeah.
But yeah, Kaz knows where I'm coming from. Yeah. And so I
There's
really
also the fact that they're divided between the groups of this is explicitly a sexual fantasy, and then there's the group that goes, this is my sexual fantasy, and I want to do this in real life.
No.
Well, no.
Oh,
It's not even
okay.
that. No, it's not even that.
He's talking
It's
about the people that write it with excuses. Essentially, they're like,
Yes.
"Oh, I'm a soldier for this big bad evil guy. I need to do this. I'm not going to enjoy it. Never mind the fact that I'm raging hard and about
it's
to
very
break."
prevalent in waifu catalog. You see it a bunch of, oh, well, I'm against dubious consent and stamping my waifu, but you know, I have to do it to get points, and she seemed happy afterwards.
The moralizing dipshittery.
Yes.
That's just the saddest.
And the excuse. And the excusing bitch, essentially, who will make any excuse they can to make themselves feel like they've got the high ground.
Exactly.
Well, listen, it's like the giant. It's like when we had like a 5-year spate of isekai light novel authors going, "Oh,
slavery bad,
well,
but I've got slaves."
Oh, slavery's bad, unless I do it, and really I treat them very well, and I try to let them go,
that
and
was
they
the
really
evolution.
like it.
That was the evolution. So at first it was slavery bad, let them go. The women are so overcome with happiness that they were freed that they then become romantically involved with the main character and stick around. Which over time evolved into slavery bad, but it okay when I do it, and they seem to enjoy being my slave. Oh, sorry, it went to slavery bad, but when I tried to free them, you know, bad thing happened, or like we're in a situation where if I free them, they'll just be enslaved again to someone else, so I have to keep them my slave. And then we went to the final evolution of that, where slavery bad, but good when I do it because they seem happy.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Or
If
in the
you're gonna write
other
a slavery story, fucking write a slavery story.
No,
Or in the other case, or in the other case, slavery bad, but I need to be edgy, so I'm going to enslave their mothers.
Yeah, true.
An actual thing got kicked out of the party and instead bought their mothers as slaves.
Okay,
well,
no, he didn't buy their mothers.
There was like
he started dating their mothers.
No, he enslaved them. No, the one Kaz is talking about. No, so the one Kaz is talking about is a really fucked up world where young children are seen as like the only value or some shit like that in terms of dating partners or something. And so all women over the age of 30 are put onto the slave market and used as chattel.
Oh.
And so the hero gets kicked out of the party, and he retaliates by buying their mothers on the slave market because the hero's party put their moms, because they were over 30, onto the slave market. And so he bought all their moms and had a lot of sex with them.
Based.
No, that's fucking shut the fuck up, son.
Yeah, no,
like, shut your actual fucking mouth
that
before I
story is no. It's like it's not that bad. That story is basically on the same wavelength as Marriage Auction and Alpha Breeder 9000.
Yeah, kind of. It's the male version of it.
Yeah, it's effectively the male version of it.
I mean, it still doesn't get as bad as those.
Well, no, see, like again, no, it's not even delusional aspect. It's the difference between what a woman finds interesting in a story and what a guy finds interesting in a story. Where even though you'll have a case of, even if it's multiple women chasing after one guy in a story written by a woman or women, it's going to still be like, oh, he is not a 10 out of 10 dude. He's an 11 out of 10 dude. He is like, they marble statues wish they were him. Like, that's how they'll be depicted. And it's sort of like, What are those two songs that are part of that meme that people make fun of, like Cotton Eye Joe and what New Vegas? New Vegas made it popular.
Shoot!
Jingle Jangle Jingle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cotton Eye Joe and Jingle Jangle Jingle are the same song from a different perspective. That's basically the female version and the male version of the harem story, where it's, you know, the guy's thinking himself of as this like absolute like white knight power fantasy guy, of like he's gaining the love and affection of women by being nice. And meanwhile, from the woman perspective, it's like, wow, he has lots of power, lots of money, and looks great. So it's basically that sort of thing. It's like, so again, I roll my eyes at it. I roll my eyes at Alpha Breeder. I roll my eyes at Marriage Auction. I roll my eyes at I bought the slave rights to my party's mom after they kicked me out. Like, it's stupid nonsense.
But I found what I was looking for. The best written and acted, quote-unquote, beloved slave friend ever was from HBO's Rome. It was Posca, Caesar's advisor. He's actually a what's it called? Composite of Cicero's and Pompey's real life actual slave secretaries. But it shows how in a society where slavery is an accepted facet, people can fulfill roles as slaves, especially Roman style slavery, where it's an enforced legal state of being.
Yeah.
That they otherwise cannot fulfill or would not be as trusted. In other ways, Posca in particular, he's very well educated. He speaks multiple languages. And he quite likes being Caesar's slave, because as Caesar's slave, and especially as his friend, he is under an immense amount of protection and has in many ways more power and influence than even military officers and senators, because anyone who abuses Posca, Caesar will just kill and make a point of killing them.
Yeah.
So there are engaging and intelligent stories you can tell both about slaves and from the perspectives of slaves. But
I never said otherwise.
Thing is, no. I'm just speaking. Is you have to present them as actual people within an actual context. And like you said earlier, when stories treat them as Pez dispensers, well, what's interesting about a Pez dispenser other than what you get out of it?
Exactly. No, 100%. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's why I generally hate these self-flating stories, because a self-insert story does not have to be self-flating. Now, on the other side of the horseshoe is
you don't have to make the character suffer.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's the pity party, I guess, is the opposite side of self-flating, is the fucking pity party. Of like, my life sucks so much, I'm part of the company now, wow, I'm being forced to enslave people, wow. Or, you know, they're just complaining endlessly about the setting they're in, or they won't shut up about their negative character traits, and they're constantly having a pity party about them. It's just shut the fuck up. I don't care. Just like I don't want to hear someone constantly talk about how smart, amazing, strong, or clever they are. I also don't want to hear someone constantly talk about how stupid, foolish, idiotic, blah, blah, blah they are. I don't care. Tell me an interesting story. If your character fucks up because you're not exactly a smart person, and so in this situation you would do something stupid, that's fine. Don't spend 9 paragraphs bitching and moaning about it. I don't want to hear it.
Well, no, hang on.
Especially
The
9
character is allowed
chapters.
to lament their fuck ups if they're bad.
But that's not what we're saying, Sign.
That's not what we're saying. I said bitching and moaning.
But-
Very specifically bitching and
Yeah,
moaning, not lamenting, not having a character arc where they improve upon themselves and get better. A great example
Yeah.
is that story where he wrote himself as a self-insert angel from prehistory in DxD.
Oh, this fuck.
Where he spent 100 fucking chapters shitting on himself. Every single fucking chapter
Ugh.
this man wrote, he would complain about his personality traits.
Yeah, that's.
But then when the
Silver's
chips
thing,
were
everyone-
down, and we've talked about this before, and when the chips were down, and God straight up sat him down, looked him in the eye, and said, I chose you for these reasons because you will do these things. He looked God back in the eye and said, no, you're wrong, I'm bad.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
book
I
had,
remember that.
had actual potential. It was interesting at first, and then he shut it down.
He
So
just
hard.
wouldn't
Couldn't get out of
shut
the
up
gate.
with the
Hip
pity
Guilt
party.
complex.
Yeah.
Get
It-
down off
again-
the cross, my guy.
Literally. But, it's one thing if you sit there, like, it's one thing if you, like, the start of your story, it's like, you're an SI, you know you're an SI, you end up in Worm, and you spend, like, maybe the
Woohoo.
first couple chapters of just being like, fuck my life, fuck my decision-making, fuck
Oh, this
your
is gonna
couch,
suck.
this sucks
However I got
shit.
here is terrible.
Whoever sent me here can go die in a fire. You know, just like, I'm totally fine if you want to open a Worm story with your character just being pissed and mopey and sad because Worm sucks. It's just the
Yeah,
same
but
if
then
you.
have to...
No,
Sorry, go ahead.
sure. You have to progress. You have to move on from that. You
Yeah.
actually have to tell a story. But I'm fine if
Yes.
the opening section before the momentum starts is your character trying to find a reason to live.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's establishing a voice. It's giving you the nadir at the beginning, and then
Yeah, exactly.
you can go up from there.
And at some point, you have to have your, okay, it's time to nut up or shut up moment and
Well,
start
the problem
kicking some
is,
ass.
no, the problem with that is the only real way to do that is to leave Brockton Bay, and then they've got to come up with something original.
You don't have to leave Brockton Bay. You can
You-
stay in the
The
bay.
thing is, the thing is, if you know what's going to happen in Brockton Bay because you're a self-insert, there's no way you want to stay in Brockton Bay ever. And then you've got to come up
Especially
with
if you
original.
don't have a power that isn't actually quite high
Yeah.
tier.
Staying
Um,
around Taylor is not guarantee you won't just fucking die. Staying in the PRT is no guarantee you won't just fucking die. Leaving
No.
Brockton Bay and fucking off to who knows where is your biggest chance to fucking survive.
Literally go to Canada and camp outside of Dragon's Fortress.
As long as you're not a
Bad
woman.
idea.
As long as you're not a woman. As long as you're not a woman, because Heartbreaker's in Canada.
Yeah,
True.
Heartbreaker exists.
Okay, yes.
No. Like, that's something you can legitimately do as a character. Like, oh,
As a male.
we
As a male
there's
character,
this
yeah.
word of God that such and such gave. I know the exact one meta way to go
Mm.
shove a cattle prod up Jack Slash's butthole. Well, I'm in Worm. I'm gonna die anyways. Might as well go do that.
Say you're a thinker. Say you're a thinker and post on PHO that you're probably gonna die for this, but you've realized that Jack has a master power with capes.
Yeah.
Or,
Or,
you know,
like, that
alternatively,
alone-
Buy
turn
a
yourself
Barrett,
into a
wait for
Ziz bomb
Jack
intentionally
show
to
up,
crash and burn Contessa's plans.
Buy a Barrett, wait
Yeah.
for Jack to show up, and then take care of the problem.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
if you've
Contessa's
got a
not
power
gonna
side.
butterfly that thing not to work.
Sign if you've got a power,
You
that
can.
won't work though. That's the problem. It'll
Yeah.
be extremely difficult.
Actually,
Why
but
would
that's
what
just
I
you
it.
be
could
within
do-
You-
his
No,
range?
no, no.
when
But that's
I
just
use
it.
No,
the
no.
When
thing?
you know what Jack Slash's power is,
No.
no, listen.
Word of God
Listen,
is that it
there was a
extends past all
Gundam
the
story that
countries
did it
across the room.
correctly. They took a bunch of non-powered people and they gave them shotguns and assault rifles, and they just said, "Go fucking shoot him. Shoot him until he's paced."
Mhm.
Yeah.
That would work.
Yes.
The problem
You
is you've
can
got to
actually
use
do that.
unpowered. you've got to use unpowered because Snine, if you've got a power and you're trying to do that, word of God is that it pings off the other slaughterhouse 9 around him.
Well, it's not just that. It's Jack will suddenly have a bad feeling about an area and won't want to go there or something. Like,
yeah, you cannot have a power until you've actually.
Jack has little plot armor.
Well, that's some bullshit.
You've actually got.
He has plot armor specifically against heroes.
Other capes.
well,
Other
capes.
capes, I should say. Once
Yeah,
again,
that's a better way to put it.
Once again, normal person take gun, bangity bang 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 bang.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, yeah,
well,
that,
see,
that would work, but I was trying to tell while Sign why he was wrong.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the reason why I went with the whole idea in the never to be continued Worm story, in where the character that representing me was a Ziz bomb the whole time, which is why Contessa couldn't plot around him, and why he was able to kill all the characters he killed.
You know what I would do? I would go find Manton. I would take out the Siberian if I could.
No.
I don't know how, but like that's what I would aim to do.
Well, you look for the van. He has a really
Yeah.
shitty, beat up van.
White van. He's literally got a literal
it's just a panel van. Yeah, it's a pedo van.
Yeah.
So
it
is the 4chan party van.
That's why I said pretend you're a thinker, post what Jack's powers is, and then take out the Siberian, which is basically 90% of his defense.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he's got decent offense, but he's genuinely.
I think that qualifies if you've done
But anyway, point being is that you can write an interesting SI story, but it's very dependent on your capability as a person telling a story. Not even your capability as a writer, but your capability to tell a story. Because you can be a bad writer and still tell a good story. But if you don't know what makes things interesting, because that's why I started this whole discussion with this fucking story as a focus, is that too many people post fan fictions writing with their dick.
Yeah.
Metaphorically. Where they're not posting
I don't know,
a
based on
cool
Telegram, some of them are in fact just writing with their dick.
But it's not.
I had to ask Noodlehammer. You guys review his story sometimes.
Yes.
To tone a few things down, and his response was, "Yeah, sorry, that was my morning wood writing."
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had to do that to Sign as well.
Yeah.
Where don't get me wrong, it's you can get caught up easily in not being able to divide the line between what's cool to you and what could be cool in general. Too many people get caught up in the cool parts for them, and they kind of slip over the parts of like, oh, I actually have to explain this idea because everyone else isn't in my head, so they can't see the conclusion I got to of the thing. You actually have to explain it. And when you have to start explaining shit, then you go, oh, actually, it isn't that cool. Actually, that one's kind of lame. Oh, that sounds really annoying. Like, it's the whole rubber duck thing of like, oh, yeah, doing this would actually be really great to have. And then when you actually start going into it, you're like, oh, no, actually, it wouldn't be great to have because that would cause so many more problems. So you're like, oh, never mind. That was bad.
No, that's 110% a problem I personally have, and I've got to say that sometimes just having people who will tell you your ideas absolutely god awful can be a godsend. So, with those parting words of wisdom, I'm gonna have to bid you guys adieu. My sister's coming home from the hospital. Thank you for your company in this.
Yeah, no problem, man. Take care.
Yeah.
Later then.
Later.
I just posted that as Sneaky said. The problem is people writing with their dick. Yeah, shared brain cell. Yeah, what can I say? Great minds think alike. I
like Shadow coming up just to be Captain Obvious to my comment and then leave.
I swear, Shadow shows up for his one comment of the night. We know.
Boop. Leaves.
lurks in chat. Kaz says something obvious.
We know.
That is still one of the funniest stories from my fucking childhood in high school. Where I slept in Latin class every single day next to this kid named Josh. And Josh never shut the fuck up. Anything you said, he would chime in with some sort of related story that wasn't actually related at all and was just about him, and he just wanted to tell you a story. And I went through 3 years of this. And in the final week, the last Latin class of 3 years, I fell asleep with him telling a story and woke up at some point, and I said, "Holy shit, Josh, shut the fuck up, no one cares."
Woo.
And then went back to sleep.
Rude, not necessarily inaccurate, but rude.
And everyone fucking lost their shit. And he's just sitting there with like this gobsmacked look on his face. And even my teacher was like, "I thought you were sleeping." And I was like, "I was! I could still fucking hear him!" But, yeah, good times. But anyway, so let's read this story and see with our eyes. Well, holy shit, that's a really long story. Now, we're gonna read part of this story.
From what I skimmed, it's literally a rehash of the first episode of Pokemon. He even gets Pikachu.
Yeah, even better is we actually open up with an in-story author's note, so go ahead and mark that off if you have it. With random AN.
I got randomly abusive.
Random AN.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just if anyone has it.
Damn, I don't.
Do I have it, actually?
Also, don't forget, unannounced crossover. You
yes, I do.
have to untick that.
Yeah, untick an unannounced crossover, yeah. Of course, it's already a thing and it was shit. Yeah. Hey man, I've seen it all with my eyes. They aren't elf eyes, but I've certainly seen it all. And most of it's dog shit, and it's why I have such a negative opinion of a lot of ideas.
I mean, it's also why I'm capable of dealing with a lot of the same fucking shit that you see, because 15 years on fanfiction makes me realize, damn, I've basically read it all.
Yeah, 100%. And
I've actually got to tolerate the shit if I want to be reading anything.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, though, it's like my standards have both increased and decreased when it comes to fanfiction. I'm a lot more tolerable in certain subjects of the fanfic, but I'm a lot less tolerable in a lot of other subjects, because I've just gotten tired of so many people like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a DxD story where I totally creatively and uniquely use devil power in a way no one's ever thought of before." Version 397,000.
You think you're clever, but you're actually dog shit.
You think you're clever, but you're really McFucking not. Yeah, no, it's certain stuff I just get so fatigued by these days. Like, oh, everyone's gonna go rape Naruto now, just so we can have our dark, edgy Naruto. It's so boring. I just rewatched bits of Lord of the Ring earlier today.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that because of my
He
elf
was saying
eyes?
that in response to your elf eyes thing.
Okay, I figured. I didn't know
else
if you were
came
going
up.
somewhere else with that. Yeah.
No.
But yeah, so it's like with Pokemon stories, Betrayed Ash. Can it be lame? Absolutely. Have I seen it done well before? Absolutely. Are they all dead? Absolutely. Pokemon stories simultaneously have gotten far harder to write and easier because Pokemon lore has been a lot more outlined in what Aura can and can't do, how Pokemon evolutions work, etc. But at the same time, the sheer number of new Pokemon introduced, you get generations of people who, if you wrote a story in Kanto, wouldn't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And
it hasn't been remade the 780th time.
Yeah, right. And so it puts you in a really awkward scenario where you have an audience for Pokemon that is very divided because you have a lot of old fans who don't like Mega Evolution, who don't like Gigantamaxing. Z-moves are kind of cool, but they add so much complication to a story. Because it's just like, why? Like, there's nothing restricting Z-moves, unlike Gigantamaxing or even Mega Evolution's heavily restricted, because you actually have to go find crystallized energy of a Pokemon to Mega Evolve.
Yeah.
And those are supposedly very rare. Supposedly.
And yet everyone in apparently has a Mega all across every single place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can sort of understand gym leaders having it, but yeah. Dynamaxing, Geo-evolving, and shit like that, it is really lame gimmicks. Honestly, actually, that's why I don't like new Pokemon. I just realized. I don't like new Pokemon because new Pokemon's falling into the same borrowed power trap that WoW fell into. In where every new expansion of the series, there is a new borrowed power thing that's completely unique to that section of the series that will never show up again, never be relevant again, and usually isn't fun.
With a different borrowed power.
Well, you'll never see it interact with another different borrowed power, but not only that, on top of that, it will never be relevant again. Like, Mega Evolutions are relevant forevermore. Like, they were the last relevant update. To be fair, I thought they were kind of cool.
They were neat.
Yeah,
it was.
With Scarlet and Violet, I did not use the giant crystal headpiece things at all. They're fucking ugly and stupid.
Oh my god, I hate
it.
It's also a very it's a very bad mechanic, just in general.
Like, here's the thing. Conceptually, the mechanic is interesting, right? Like,
sure, yes. Like,
just like that's just like with Dynamaxing.
That's interesting enough.
Conceptually, it's kind of a cool idea. The Pokemon becomes really big and they do really big moves, and it's like, okay, then I get it.
Yeah, and we saw something similar in Season 1 with a giant Tentacruel, and we've seen giant Pokemon in the past, but this is just boring.
Yeah,
the execution was poor.
The execution was terrible, and again, it's really hampered by this relentless pursuit of the lowest demographic. And you can't say, oh, well, they're just kids. It's like, sure, they're just kids, but did you see the complicated shit that was happening behind the scenes in Pokemon's 1, 2, and 3?
Hell,
the IVs, the EVs, the hidden natures, the secret powers, like, there was so much going on behind the scenes on a Pokemon that you could have 30 of the same Pokemon, even in Gen 4, and they would all have different stats in the end.
Now, I want to be clear. I think my favorite version is probably like Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where
100%.
all those mechanics are there, but they stopped fucking obfuscating them. Like, they told you, this is what that does.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. And I really enjoyed the French one. Was that Gen 8, Gen 9, or whatever the fuck it was?
French was Kalos.
Yeah.
Gen 6.
Yeah, whatever.
Mega Evolution.
Well, not only was it Mega Evolution, they also added the Pokemon Stadium where you could just directly train the EV stat of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
You know what?
It cut out the boring middleman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the anime, in like Pokemon Mega Evolution in the anime would have been fine if not everyone in the fucking champion tournament would have had it. If it was just the two rivals and the gym leaders that had it, it would have been much better.
Yeah. Well, again, it's this whole thing. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. It's like, it's this thing, like, I don't like borrowed power in general. It makes for really shitty storytelling. It makes for really convoluted storytelling as well. And, you know, Infant says, well, as a writer, it's simple enough. You either cater to the old guard or the new guard. It's not that simple, though, because there's plenty of shit that was improved upon in later seasons of Pokemon that just make your job writing earlier stuff easier. But if you include that stuff, you're going to have the swarm of new guard who are like, oh, well, why isn't blank doing blank to blank to blank? And it's fucking annoying. But the other problem is that, again, you can't really, you can cherry pick, but you can't really cherry pick. Of, like, if you do a cutoff of everything past Gen 4 doesn't exist, that's one thing. But if you're like, oh, well, I like this one thing it says about Aura in Gen 6, and this one thing it says about Pokemon moves in Gen 8, and then you only use those bits, it's like, yeah, you can construct your own AU, and maybe you can write the idea intelligently, but that's not going to stop the double horde of people constantly leaving reviews and comments complaining. And maybe you're better than them. Maybe you're able to withstand the tide of retardation that such an action will cause to yourself. But most people aren't. And I'm not giving advice to people based on the few who have egos who are capable of maintaining them even in the face of massive adversity. I'm giving advice to the average writer who probably doesn't have an ego that is as ironclad as an ironclad, you know?
I should have known. Author of Pokemon Crash version has 3 core Alaronfix in their favorites out of 11.
Which ones? Are they new core fix or old core fix?
We've got one old one in Professor Arc. We have
well, that's kind of a mandatory favorite.
Which was 2019 last finished. And then we have Rise, which is published 2022, updated 2023 complete.
Black Sheep, honestly, Black Sheep was fucking awful. Black Sheep was honestly the downhill turn of humor in Core Fix.
Yeah, and then he's got another modern one. And then he's also got the all Pokemon except for one Ruby and one One Piece fic. Which the One Piece one is literally the most popular One Piece fic with over 10,000 reviews.
We're staying the title retardation. Am I wrong though? I mean, like, look at Sign. You know, Sign alone is the egotistical one. And
Thine alone is the ego. Oh.
The strongest ego of history versus the strongest ego of today.
And he's both.
And yes, I can confirm there is a tide of retardation anytime I post something specific places.
Literal sin versus sign real. The strongest ego of history versus the strongest ego of today. Strongest ego of today versus massive L.
Well, Kevin, I alone am the egotistic one. Me, probably.
Oh, you know what? Did you just pin that?
Yes, I did.
Why wouldn't he?
I'm gonna say the biggest ego. There's technically two that could count as biggest ego of today. One is Sign, the other is Shiro, but whatever.
True. But in all seriousness, I do actually mean that as a compliment in this scenario, is where I feel that if a story ever dies, it's going to be by Sign's hands and not because he got too many retarded people in his reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've learned not to let that shit get to me. Now, occasionally, if it's the first chapter or so and the response is so overwhelmingly negative, then yeah, I'll...
Well, there's a difference between a negative response and obnoxious retards arguing about lore. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
And I'm certainly also saying, if you're getting a massive negative response, genuine negative, not, oh, you should have done it this way, but a genuine just like, no, you're wrong, here's all the reasons you're wrong, kill yourself.
Why the fuck did you even write this?
Yeah, exactly. That can occasionally be, in two ways, a sign you shouldn't write the story. One, if you're just going to get constant wave of negativity every single time you post a chapter, who were you trying to entertain?
I mean, you could be writing it for yourself, but...
You could be, but you don't, if you're writing it for yourself, then you don't need to post it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying stop writing it. I'm just saying stop posting it. Don't subject yourself intentionally to waves of negativity for a story that no one wants to read but you.
Yeah.
True. But I can't do that. My ego's too big. I've got to post it.
Sure. That's what I'm saying, though, is not everyone's you. Not everyone's in font. Not everyone's me. And so generally, and that's why I see it's a lot of stories. I've seen far too many good stories succumb to the author losing their ability to write the story because too many people were being negative when commenting on it.
I hate that shit so much. Like, really, just toughen up, fucker.
And it's not even being negative to the author. Like, I remember this one Magic the Gathering worm story. Really cool. I forget who wrote it.
Shit, I remember reading that one, because you recommended it to me.
Yes. And it was an interesting story in where Taylor was getting minor mind suggestion powers, I guess, over Sophia, because she had enchanted Sophia with a power-up that she got from her hand, because basically her power was to pull magic cards, and it operated similar to the trading card game's play rules, in where she had to tap lands to cast spells and summon creatures, except everything was kind of in play. So she didn't have to place an enchantment on her own creatures, she could place an enchantment on someone else, just not herself. And so basically she convinced Sophia to become an attack dog for her, because she could hand powers out like candy, and to them, it seemed like there was no negative side effects, like she wasn't, being brainwashed by Taylor or anything. But before the story,
teacher.
Yes,
Teacher
yes, before the story died off, the author was hinting at Sophia becoming Taylor's monster, so she would start following Taylor's orders and be more agreeable with Taylor. Because it was like it died right before Taylor was about to experiment. What would happen if she paid Sophia's play cost in mana? Because Sophia basically had a translated mana cost to play her to the field, even though she could be enchanted without playing her to the field. And the author was just about to explore it, and it was space battles, and the forum exploded in people talking about Magic the Gathering and arguing about rules and how they implement into the world, and just some of them got really nasty and toxic with each other. And the author kind of just killed the story and lost the will to write the story because people were being mean to each other.
Wait, to each other, not to the author.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, if your entire comment section is nothing but a cesspit of people being fucking assholes, I can see why someone would want to stop writing that.
Yeah, no, that's when I sit back and get the popcorn and laugh.
Yes, well,
sign.
Again.
Do
I need to tap the pin?
I know, not everybody is me.
And thank the good Lord for that.
Hold on, I gotta go find that meme.
The world can't even handle one sign, let alone two.
Shit, I spelled the wrong sign. Here we go. And we copy and paste this. Oh. There we go. Excellent.
Okay, I'm keeping that one. This will make a fine addition to my collection.
This will make fine delicious. Someone you already posted the graph. Nice.
Of course. It needs to be archived. But yeah. I will tap the sign about sign.
The sign?
The sign.
The sign is a sign. Speaking of signs, I have a sign that's time for me to get fucking food.
True. The Trainer's Guide to Pokemon, Volume 3, Canto. It's vital if you read 1 and 2 first. Following the events of Hoenn, Max and Bonnie. Is Bonnie a real character? Bonnie's a real character. Oh. Really? Her alternative name is Eureka. Oh.
Why would her... Well. Why does she have an alternative name?
Japanese name a lot of their characters differently. It was something that basically, I think 4Kids might have been the cause of this, is that early translations of Pokemon into English included renaming pretty much everything because the people doing the translating didn't believe that children would buy or be invested in Pokemon if they had hard to pronounce names.
They've never heard of dinosaurs, have they?
No. Yeah, so that's why, like, Ekans isn't Ekans in Japan. You know, Charmander isn't Charmander in Japan. Pikachu isn't Pikachu in Japan.
I thought Pikachu was explicitly
Pikachu
in
is
Japan.
Pikachu.
Oh, okay, well, Pikachu, maybe. But yeah,
they
Max is actually called Masato. Ash is
Well,
Satoshi.
yes, that's
just
stupid.
the
usual shit, yeah.
Right, but like that's the thing though, is that Pokemon's the only. You guys say it's the usual shit, but Pokemon's the only thing that does that.
Yeah. Digimon.
No, it's No, it's not the only thing. It's just things that 4Kids got their hands on and thought were aimed at kids. They're like, we have to make this even dumber for Western kids because Western kids are stupid.
Western kids won't watch a show about Satoshi.
Bakugan changed names. Beyblade changed some names.
Sailor Moon changed the names of all the girls.
Sailor Moon changed some relationships.
Yes,
as well.
they did that too.
They're cousins. Fuck your
to
cousins.
Pokemon's credit though, to Pokemon's credit though, some of those name changes are a lot better.
Oh yeah, totally.
Charmander and Charmeleon and Charizard all sound a hell of a lot better than Lizard, but pronounced very different.
Execute. It's a hilarious.
No, and don't get me wrong. I'm not disparaging it.
Oh,
Gen 1 Pokemon names were so clever. I love them for their puns. Oh, Ekans is snake backwards. Arbok is cobra backwards. You know, it's like okay, you know, it's like you gotta give credit where it's due. That's good.
Yeah.
It's coughing and wheezing.
Kind of fun.
Get it? Because of the gas. He's coughing and wheezing.
Muck looks like a pile of muck.
Yeah. It's definitely nothing backwards.
Yeah, no. And Grimer looks grimy.
Yes. Yeah.
Ponyta, a flaming pony.
Did you dude keep the same name or not? I don't remember if that line kept the same name or not.
Geodude is different in Japanese, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, Graveler, Golem, like a lot of the Gen 1 names and Gen 2 names were very clever, and I liked them a lot because of that.
Geodude is Tsubute. What?
It probably means like fucking effort or something.
Subooty. Okay.
It's Tsubute. I just posted what the name in Japanese.
Ah, okay. And that's for who?
Geodude.
Alright, hang on.
I have no idea what the fuck that means.
Actually, you know what? I wonder. My phone comes with that new feature that everyone else's also has, but my phone now has that translate feature.
Translate.
Yeah, it's crazy. Basically, my lens may need cleaning. Oh, fuck you too. Where is it? No, action pan. Basically, there's like a translate option where basically I can tell it to take a picture of something, and I don't even need to take a picture of it, right? I can just hover my camera over it, and it will live dub.
Oh, scan it.
Yeah.
Google
and not
started rolling it out like what in the last 3 years, I think.
Something like that. But it's not even like put a translation under it. It's literally live dubbing it as my phone is hovering over the photo. I just wish I could make it translate or figure out how to activate the translate function. Oh, that's how I activate
Google
the translate
is
function.
gonna be kind of stupid on this because
and then we want to translate Japanese. Right. So if I hover that, yeah, it just tells me it's a thing. Oh, so that's actual literal translation. Oh, okay, that's cool. Actually, you know what? Let's test this out on a foreign story. A foreign language story. Let's find a Dutch. Wait, is there a
come
Netherlands?
On, we all know Dutch is just a made-up language.
Ah, Netherlands.
How do you say "spank me, daddy" in Dutch? Give me ein clap, papa.
Why is this here? Why is that there?
What awful
What did you find?
What is... Huh?
Yeah.
Wait.
Copy
Does... I have so many questions.
Who shot my boyfriend with rape dicks?
So...
Excuse me?
Does the boyfriend have them, or was the boyfriend shot with... Huh?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Shot with them. Like someone loaded dicks into a
Misty
gun
has traveled with Ash and Brock and also Tracy for a while. But for me, many questions remain. Why did she go do before traveling? What did she do after traveling? What was her dream? Was she able to make her dream come true? Read my story to find out. That's what it says in Dutch to English. That's kind of cool. That's a cool feature. I think that's neat.
Nice.
Someday it's going to hook up with Neuralink and you're going to have live dubbing.
Why is it that when I try to look...
Except terrifying.
Oh, totally. It's actually going to be worse than you think. Because it's going to be... Because it's Neuralink, it's probably going to have some sort of, like, collective hive mind component to it. And it's going to have, like, live updating of languages and bullshit. And it's going to diverge people to the point where they aren't even able to learn other languages. And it, like, turns into some sort of super slop language.
Yeah,
where because everyone
some curated bullshit language with all the bad words removed. It's gonna be Newspeak.
Well, no, it is not even curated or Newspeak. I'm talking about it's gonna be some sort of super slop language where, like, it's gonna use English word structure, but it's gonna have, you know, French, Spanish, Japanese, Russian, and Chinese words in the English sentence.
Oh. So it's gonna do what what English does, and mug other languages for their words.
Right, but you see, no, actually, less violently. They're gonna come over politely and stay because you're gonna pronounce them the same way they're pronounced in the other language because that's how the language shard taught you how to pronounce them.
Oh. Sneaky, you are so lucky that the YouTube chat is blocking the cover picture for that Who Shot My Boyfriend story because it's
I know.
not safe to stream.
I'm aware.
Shit.
But anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on in the Dutch section.
Mm.
The dust section.
Indeed, the dust section.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so let's see what else we got going on here. Fourth wheel shipping. I don't even want to know.
Huh?
I don't want to know.
So you go from being a third wheel.
I don't want to know.
Oh, it's a love dodecahedron.
We don't want.
I don't want to know. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Sins of the Past. Here's what I'm fucking talking about. Here is what I am fucking talking about. What do you mean I want to skip it?
Isn't the Mystery Dungeon shit just porn?
Oh, yeah. Well, no. But, I mean, no. Mystery Dungeon shit is always... You always skip Mystery Dungeon. You never read Mystery Dungeon. Mystery Dungeon shit is 99% original story slop.
Yep.
And the 10% that isn't is literally word for word the game, including the same missions and everything.
Ugh.
Literally, if you see someone in a mystery dungeon, a mission that you never did, it's probably one of the randomized missions that the other person got.
Yeah.
I tried reading one fic, and after getting to the second or third, help find this Pokemon in this randomized dungeon, which I've made an excuse for why these dungeons randomize, and like the floor plans, and then it's like, oh, we got to the 4th floor, we found him, we got him to safety. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Episode 3 is 20th anniversary. That's I don't like those words. I don't like those words at all. Yeah, no, don't appreciate that one. Anyway, yeah, so everyone can go ahead and mark off original story if you have it. Don't send them there, the lollies will be in danger. No, see, Lolly Jail, it doesn't actually have any lollies in it. Lolly Jail is where all the other people who lost after lollies go.
Original fiction, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
What?
are you sure about that? Because I was pretty sure Lolly Jail was Lolly Jail was basically just Blue Archive.
No.
See, unlike Horny Jail, Lolly Jail is actually very safe for lollies because all the people that lust after lollies go to Lolly Jail, and as no one else in Lolly Jail is a lolly, therefore there will be a distinct lack of detentioning needed. Meanwhile, in Horny Jail, everyone who's horny is going to Horny Jail, which doesn't work out because everyone's horny. And they didn't specify for what. So, some people will be in danger. No, I would never sentence Sign to share a cell with Cledwin.
That's just cruel.
To me or to him? Who the fuck is Cledwin?
Cledwin was a pedophile.
It's cruel to you.
Yeah.
Ancient
Cledwin,
SDM law.
Yeah, Cledwin was an actual pedophile that we had on our server. And we didn't realize he was a pedophile at first, obviously. But it kind of,
It became apparent.
Yeah.
He was also a shit writer, and pissed off most of us.
I was a lurker in the SDM, and even I realized that despite not interacting with him.
In and out 5-minute adventure.
Yeah,
that one.
Cledwin's main issue was that he would come up with a totally cool new idea about once every hour. And he would want to talk to you about it for the entire hour, realize at the end of the hour that actually the idea is a lot more complicated than he thought it would be, and he doesn't want to write it anymore.
And he came up with a new idea to talk to you for the next hour.
But he came up with a new idea! Yeah, so that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem with Cledwin. In a lot of people on the server were still retarded back then. And so, even though I stopped interacting with him, because I quickly picked up on his pattern, the rest of them were still good faith interacting with him, thinking they could, if they just helped him one more time, he would finally write the story.
Yeah, and then
I mean,
was still
Arn was there as well. No,
I was a lurker not interacting with anyone until Arn finally did that at all silent ping, which finally got me talking to you fuckers.
Yes, you're welcome. I prompted him to do it.
Nice.
But yes, unless you're Juro in Lolly Jail, then everything is a lolly to you. True. Yes. Then everyone else is in danger, but the lollies still are not in danger. But anyway, point being is that yeah, Cledwin was one of those writers who never stopped having ideas. Except the problem with his air quotes ideas, I use that a very loose term, is that all of them were the same idea. He was 43 years old, and every single one of his stories revolved around him being 10 years old, getting a bunch of 20 to 30-year-old women in a giant harem. How he gets them into the harem was generally could be boiled down to he was nice to them, therefore they love him now. And basically the only variation between all of his story ideas was which main character in which series he was replacing.
Wow. That is just...
Oh, Cledwin might be dead. He hasn't updated since 2023.
Cledwin?
Yeah.
He got bullied off of Discord.
Yeah, he got bullied off of Discord. Hopefully.
He hasn't updated Fanfiction since 2023. And his author's page either since 2022.
But I forget what the specific event was, but he one time said something that twigged to me, and I asked him a follow-up question where he basically just came out and said he was targeting those under the age of 18. Specifically under the age of 16. For sexual interest.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with him being a 45-year-old man, yeah. Yeah.
It was an entire thing.
Yeah.
But when it is better off not being a thing.
Yeah, and then Indominus Rex came in, and he was a fucking retard.
He was so fucking dumb.
That was the funniest shit ever, though, when he got banned. Came in with a new account. Hey guys, my friend Indominus Rex just wants to say he's really sorry. I'm definitely not a sock puppet account.
Yeah.
Arm
pulled out the IP ban there.
Yeah. The issue with Indominus Rex was also he agreed with Cledwin on many of opinion. But his main autism issue was that he was obsessed with inserting himself as a dinosaur into every story.
The fuck?
Yes. Specifically, if you haven't figured it out yet, as the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. All of the stories he's posted are all just X story, but I show up as a self-insert as the Indominus Rex.
We had a lot of people. And people is being generous.
People's being generous.
I was about to say.
Yes. That have shown up in that place. And we are now on lockdown.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Yeah.
Was he 12 when that movie came out?
You were 12? What?
No, was he?
Oh, probably.
Because I think I was...
I definitely felt like he was suffering from middle school syndrome. Mixed with autism. So he was probably older than a middle schooler. But, again, autistic. So he was still focused on the middle school syndroming. Yeah. I mean, this is why I talk about this sort of thing, right? It's like both Cledwin and him were writers. And both of them didn't understand why their stories weren't popular. And a lot of authors, apparently, over the years I've noticed, don't really understand why their stories are popular. Because they'll get popular with one story, and then be confused why their second story isn't getting views. And it's like, yeah, buddy, people weren't coming for you. You're not that popular yet. You're not core popular yet. People were coming for your story, not you. And you kind of have to branch out in a way that makes you an enjoyable author to read, rather than a amusing story to read. Anyway, let's keep going.
Oh,
When did
no,
Jurassic
no, no,
Park
no,
come
no.
out?
Let's not keep
1993. That's right, Sign. Sign, did you know Jurassic Park is older than me?
I think I'm
God.
older than
What
Jurassic
year is
Park
it?
by like a couple months, actually.
Oh God. What year is it?
Sign,
old
do,
am I?
sign.
do you feel your
Terminator
spine
out.
giving out? Are your kidneys crumpling?
His kidneys are crumpling because of the abuse he puts them through.
Yes,
True. He's
that's
only
from
had
abuse.
2 salt licks today.
That's a Dr. Pepper too.
Ah, he washed it down with a Dr. Pepper. How generous of him.
No.
2 salt licks and a
No,
Dr.
it's
Pepper.
Madden.
God damn, how do you do it? Your doctor must love you.
Doctor? What do you mean,
Exactly.
doctor?
He doesn't believe in medicine.
I don't go to the doctor. I don't get sick. Or if I get sick, I tough it out.
You see, Sign has unlocked the ability to redirect the salt he consumes to drying out the bacteria invading his body.
Yes.
Each white blood
Super
cell is
effective.
handed a Tommy gun for salt crystals. It's revolutionized biological warfare.
Boy, cells at work got fucking weird. And no, I refuse to elaborate.
Fair. The light that shines before dawn. Dawn Platinum. We're really going with that one, aren't we? Okay. John Pokemon.
Jan Pokemon.
Dawn Platinum is a girl with big dreams. Determined, to be fair though, Dawn is probably the most hardcore female cast member in Pokemon.
I was about to say, isn't Dawn already a Pokemon
Oh,
character?
Dawn's an enormous badass.
A version of Dawn canonically went back in time, captured every single Pokemon in the entire region, and fought God and the Devil.
I'm sorry, what game is that?
Pokemon
Legends.
Arceus.
Those legends.
I didn't play that one, so that explains it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was Dawn.
Yeah, it's a version of
She
Dawn.
looks a lot like Dawn.
Akari. Essentially, it's Dawn, but with her Japanese name, I'm pretty sure, is actually
Yeah.
Akari.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. That's why I say it's a version of Dawn.
I see.
There's
I'm
other
pretty sure
versions
that-
of Dawn that go on to beat the Elite Four and do all the fun stuff, yeah.
Well, yeah, those versions I knew about.
Dawn's Japanese name is Hikari, but I'm pretty sure that Akari is the name in the Japanese in the manga. I'm pretty sure.
Might be.
It's Hikari in the game.
Oh, there you
And
go.
what did you say she was in?
Akari? Platinum B, yeah, AKARI in
Akari is the name of the Dawn during that time. If you pick
Oh,
the male
yeah.
character, that's your name. That's the Dawn of that
right.
time.
Yeah, and Hikari is the modern day Dawn, so it's essentially her descendant.
Ancestor or reincarnation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Platinum is probably the modern day manga Dawn.
Yes.
What was she like again? Because all the fucking
Platinum?
all the manga protagonists are fucked up as all hell, and it's great.
She was basically a rich kid. Cool, confident, but not like overly arrogant, if I remember correctly.
But yeah, anyway, so badass.
She was a proper Ojo-sama, if you will.
Which one was the sociopath woman?
Hmm?
Do you realize how little that narrows it down to Pokemon?
Do you realize how little that
manga is
one...
wild.
It was like a sociopath woman with fucking evil eyes, and it was great. She was like, I remember it being brought up on the SDM.
Agatha?
No. It was one of the female protagonists.
A female protagonist brought up on the STM? Boy, that sure narrowed it down there, Kaz. I'm so glad you're so great at describing things.
I'm trying to figure out.
Protagonist of what?
An evil?
No,
Wait,
Sapphire.
evil?
No, Sapphire was the fucking wild child May weird feral girl.
Yes. She was
Feral
totally
May.
tomboy.
Was it Crystal or Silver, maybe?
So Silver was a guy.
Yeah,
Silver's
Silver's
a guy.
Silver
It's
was a
Crystal.
guy. Crystal. No.
Crystal was just a girl who could kick well and catch Pokemon.
Yeah.
Wait, are you thinking of Green?
No, Green was
Talking
the
about the
weird.
adventure manga, right?
Yeah, but it's one of the later ones. Maybe it was the X and Y girl.
Because
Green is
Gloria?
crazy though.
Green started as a crazy thief,
Gloria?
and eventually
The
developed
Silver
into a
Girl?
better person.
She was,
Gloria
I think, pretty
might
violent or
have been.
something.
I do appreciate that the adventure manga just makes every single named character a fucking just cracked individual.
Yeah.
Yes. Like they know fully well, like if they're gonna name the character after each individual game, they're gonna make them unique in some capacity.
Yeah. I also appreciate
gimmick.
that in the adventure manga, Red is still like, oh, I have to fight him now. I don't want to be here. I don't
Red
want
is
to
just the
fight that.
boogeyman.
I know what he can do. I don't want to fight that.
Red casually lives on Mount Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
The top.
It
To be clear,
is-
the top of it.
Yeah.
It is his territory. This is undisputed.
Not
not
even
fuck with him.
legendaries go up there.
The legendaries go. I can live somewhere else.
I think it's I like the funny implication.
Moltres
Moltres
did
used to
go to
live
live-
there,
Yeah.
but when
Yes.
Red settled down, it said no, I'm going somewhere else. I ain't living near Red.
Yeah.
Yes. And now my
Oh.
brain is playing that fucking "You Got That" song while running
You Got
through still images of every main character with crazy eyes.
It basically said,
Mm.
"Oh shit, the protagonist wants to live here. Outside, I'll move." It's
yeah,
like when
Red's
you take
kind
a
of the
sim out of their
protagonist of
house.
the world. True.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so Dawn's badass, conquer gyms, befriend Pokemon, unravel mysteries. This is the definitive Pokemon Platinum fic
Oh,
on my account.
really?
On his account.
Mm.
It's Red's world and you're conveniently living in it.
It's Red's world, and you better hope he doesn't decide you're worth the effort to get off his mountain.
True.
Honestly, I do like wasn't that an implication somewhere like, so why is this a problem? Because we can't find Red.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mhm.
We can't find our solution button.
So we're
Oh.
using several backups.
I like to imagine Reds. They consider Red like a nuclear weapon. Like, do not fuck
I
with
mean,
him.
bro
Wait, ready,
basically
go.
is.
Bro is.
He
He's doing
is.
what?
Yeah.
When you consider what he has just in his normal team, he has all 3 starters, a Lapras, a Pikachu, and a Snorlax.
Yes, a
Mm.
Pikachu that rivals God himself.
Yes.
Yeah, a Pikachu that doesn't get reset at the end of every season because it's inconvenient for the writers.
Yes.
Like, what does Pikachu look like when it doesn't get reset? It looks like the adventure manga. That's what.
Now, see, I would really love to see a story that went full One Piece with the Pokemon world, in where every region after Kanto is actually just stronger than Kanto. Like, even the generic thugs in, like, Sinnoh are stronger than the Elite Four of Johto.
I mean, okay, from a comedy perspective, there's a lot of value there. From a scaling perspective, what the shit fuck, brother?
That's what I'm saying. Where it's like, yeah, no, actually, Pikachu arrives at full power to every new region, but every new region is just another island in One Piece. and you're back on the bottom of the totem pole.
Bro, that explains why after going
Honestly,
through all that bullshit,
that would be so fun, actually. Like, have a game that have the game that lets you go through every region, and then that's the main gimmick. And you hit the level cap for each island, you're like, oh, I guess that's it. You get the next one, it's like, what do you mean there's a... You get to the 4th region, what do you mean there's a level 150? What?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I was gonna say they start out, they cap you at like 30, and you just go, huh.
This is
What's
an
going
odd
on
number.
No, because then you wouldn't be able to have evolved Pokemon in the first region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what, capped at like 50?
No, just each new region adds an extra 50 or a 100.
Oh, Jesus.
We're looking at, oh god, what is that? 8 generations? 400 level?
No, we're not.
And then
9,
Unova just comes in with
We're on
level
9.
400 Starlies. the Starlies are like actual super buff. Every footstep they take is crunching the ground.
No, listen. Okay, listen. If we're gonna do that, you have to continue to escalate the size and musculature of every like your Kanto starter needs to look like it has fucking the Black Plague, even when it's a Charizard.
No, it's just funnier if it looks totally normal at first, to give the audience the false sense of illusion of, just like, oh, everything's fine, it's just a normal Pokemon game. But then, like, the next region is, like, everyone's noticeably a little bit buffer. Like, even the little kids look a little bit buffer, and you're kind of like, alright. A little weird.
Weird.
You get to the next region, and, like, even, like, the small children are walking around like fucking bodybuilders, and it's like, oh...
Yeah.
Okay,
by the time you reach the 3rd region, every child looks like Brawly's offspring.
Exactly, right?
Okay.
Pattern here.
I think for fun, let's assume you keep everything looking normal and it's just the levels. I think for fun, just have a moment of like, by the way, you can go to any region from the start. Just you just do that because we have international travel. Yeah, sure, that's fine. I wouldn't recommend it though. It's a bad idea because we're the weakest region. Like, that's fine. Go straight to the end region. Like, oh, it's just a Rattata, and then you notice level 405. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The Rattata stands up, and you're like, the fuck?
Oh no.
Oh, it's
Rattata
Godzilla.
called you a punk ass bitch.
Rattata used flex. It suddenly just like explodes.
Sneaky. It flexes and it looks like a normal Rattata. It flexes and explodes into a larger buffer Rattata.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
Yes.
that one workout anime where it's like totally normal looking guy until he does a side flex and then his clothing explodes off and he's like 10 times bigger. That's what happens with the Rattata, where it's just like, oh, it's a Rattata, let's go fight it.
The fucking muscle show.
Yeah, it's just
How big are the
Rattata
dumbbells?
flexes, boom. Just
Yeah.
each bicep is the size of a normal Rattata.
You fight your first bug catcher junior, and it's like, oh, it's just a Caterpie, level 390. Why? Why didn't you let it evolve? What the fuck is going on?
Because I shall create the strongest Caterpie to walk the earth.
Max, everyone knows Unova and Caterpie don't evolve until level 420.
I didn't know that till this game.
No, you gotta give it a metal card and then it somehow gets a gun.
You see, Unova and Caterpie have the secret ability Blaze It.
True.
They turn
God
into
damn
Weederpie
it.
at level 420.
Oh, yes, thank you. That's exactly what I was saying. The fucking Family Guy meme. Yeah, oink.
Ah, yes.
Exactly that. It's like, oh, it's a Rattata. Boom. Punch. Tree explodes.
There's going to be so much property damage. just walking around.
Well, no. You see, the stone in these regions is also super dense as well. So, like, to normal people, it doesn't seem like anything's weird.
You ask them where to get some new HMs. They're like, "What's an HM?" Because all the Pokemon just built that different. You don't need strength to move that boulder. Just get my little Nidoran to do it. It's fine. He loves moving that thing. It's his favorite play ball.
No,
What do you?
no.
Boulder?
They
That's a
look at you.
pebble.
They look at you. You
No,
need a
see-
Pokemon to move the trees? You don't
Even
just-
better. Even better, you get into town, you're about to leave, and like there's a giant boulder in the way of the exit of town, and you're like, oh shit, hey, does anyone have a really strong Pokemon to move the boulder? And someone's like, what the fuck do you mean? It's like some sort of 7-year-old bug catcher kid. Or, you know, it's the Rattata kid who only captures Rattatas because he has the 1% of Rattata. He's like, what do you mean? That's just Joey's play ball. And he goes over, puts his hand on the rock, squeezes into the rock, and lifts it into the air casually, and then throws it.
No, Sneaky,
And then
much
you just
better.
see a
Much
Rattata.
better. What? Oh no, that's just
Guy.
Yeah,
just look at
exactly.
what you mean. The Growlithe's catch ball? Growlithe fetch. Whew.
It's funnier with the Rattata though.
But like then here's the thing. Then you have the comedy value of the 7-year-old playing fetch with it.
No,
still
no,
do that with
and
the
that,
Rattata.
the
You can
muscle
teach
show.
The Rattata. You can teach the Rattata how to fetch. Come on, man. Rattatas are smarter than people give them credit for.
No, at the muscle show was entirely a Japanese propaganda to make anime nerds work out more. And the main character is just this giant dude that looks normal until he starts flexing in the gym, and the entire show is just about
character.
cute girls working out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the main characters are two cute girls working out, and the muscle man is.
Right, but the muscle man is
looks like
supposed
a
to be
nerd.
right, but the muscle man's supposed to be the you.
Yeah, he's supposed to be you, the sad fat weeb.
No.
Go
I mean,
exercise.
yes and no.
No. I thought he was just the gym
He's-
owner.
No, he's not the owner, but he works there, and he really likes his job.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can tell.
Anyways, I'm off, guys. See us.
Yep, zoom in.
See,
Good night.
Oh, wow. Pokemon super fan. I really love Pokemon. I play the trading card game. I'm 37.
Okay, hang on. Does he play the trading card game, or does he ruin it for the actual players of the game by being a filthy scalper?
Well, you know, is there a difference?
Yes.
there are
there is
actual
actually a
players that run the
difference.
shop.
I also love God of War. I'm disappointed by Ragnarok. Goes to Tsushima. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, that just reminded me of another little neat factoid I learned, and I completely forgot about it. Fuck, what was it? There's the reason why Demon Souls was made. Oh.
Because Miyazaki wanted a D&D game and didn't like what was on the market.
No, Demon Souls was made because Sony, sorry, my bad, it's like the same thing in my mind. Sony went to Miyazaki because FromSoft owned the rights to Kingsguard, and they wanted him to make a Kingsguard game that would, Baldur's Gate, that would be a Eastern equivalent to Baldur's Gate. And instead, he made Demon Souls, and they were really unhappy with him, and that's kind of why Bloodborne, part of the reason why Bloodborne never got a sequel, and it's also the reason why Dark Souls took so long to make as well. Because they kind of got really pissed at him for not making Kingsguard.
Huh.
You mean King's Quest?
King's Quest, yeah.
Why would they want more? I'm pretty sure he made 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah, but they wanted him to make a Eastern competition because the Xbox... Oh, no, that's what it was. My bad. I'm retarded. Xbox had Oblivion. And they wanted a Kingsguard Oblivion. For the PS.
Kingsfield?
King's Quest, Kingsfield, whatever it was.
King something. It's what put FromSoft on the map for difficult but challenging gameplay.
Yeah, and they wanted an Oblivion equivalent on the PlayStation because the Xbox had Oblivion.
Okay.
And instead they made Demon's Souls. Which
now, admittedly,
is not Oblivion.
I can see Sony being that petty, but on the other hand, I really do think they just lost the source code and just won't fucking admit it.
That's also, I mean,
because
here's the thing.
FromSoft worked on Bloodborne, but it was primarily Sony Studio Japan. And that studio, I think, went under.
It did. They dissolved it.
Yeah, and odds are some jackass lost the one hard drive that had the source code, and it's like, well, can't ask FromSoft to do it from the ground up, and...
Oh my god, that just reminded me of the saddest thing that happened to someone on Monday. I completely forgot about it. So it wasn't Monday, it was Wednesday. Someone called in saying that they need 80 files recovered.
Oh no.
And the following events were a series of unfortunate events.
Oh boy.
So, Sign and Max will understand. Well, probably Max, but Sign will definitely understand. So, it all started when they scanned 80 files to a folder on a shared drive.
Oh no.
And then they cut the files from the shared drive and pasted it into another shared drive. And then they renamed all the files.
No, why? Why?
They chose the hardest way possible, that's why.
Yes, yes.
They chose the dumbest, most inefficient method for handling this.
Oh, yeah.
I made sure that it was... I'm going to assume it's probably unrecoverable by this point.
100%. So this is where the series of unfortunate events is. So, Recycle Bin does not exist as a function for shared drives. When you delete a file on a shared drive, it does not go into the recycle bin. It also does not go into a recoverable. It is gone.
No, it just gets deleted.
It is evaporated by the computer.
You can recover it if you do it in time, but it requires specialized software to do so.
No, dude, even
time,
disk drill.
I mean within the hour.
Yeah, maybe, but even disk drill couldn't recover it. Like, we got nothing from it.
It just overwrote it immediately.
No, I mean, the shared drive itself, the server that's stored on, had hundreds of gigabytes left. So it was nowhere near danger of being overwritten. It was just...
No. I don't remember what program I used, but there was some DoD level bullshit that once upon a time...
Oh, probably Shadow Explorer.
Even with shared drives, was supposed to be able to pull deleted files
the
data on the drive itself outside of Windows.
Yeah, it was Shadow Explorer. Or Red Hat. Either one.
It might be Red Hat.
But the thing is that only works if it's pre-installed.
No, this ran off of a flash drive.
That's true, you could do it from there as well, but we don't actually have physical access to the server.
You booted it up to the flash drive with... Oh, you didn't have physical access.
Yeah, we don't have physical access.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're fucked.
Yeah, so she cut and pasted, renamed them all, and then they disappeared. And so because it's a shared drive, they didn't go to recycle bin. Because she waited 5 days to tell us, they were vaporized.
Well, they're gone.
And on top of all of that, they had a network issue on the same day that she first scanned everything. and so the backup was never made for that day.
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay, hang on. So she scanned these from something from a physical document?
Yes.
Where are the physical documents?
Oh no, she has them still. She didn't throw them out yet.
So fucking rescan them. Problem solved.
Yes, but it was 80 documents, and she didn't want to rescan 80 documents and rename them all.
Why do they need to be renamed?
You
naming schema.
You feed them into a document, an ADF document scanner, email them to yourself, and then yes, you have to rename them manually, but oh fucking well, that's the price you pay.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's ultimately what ended up happening, but she wanted to see if we could recover them first. But like I said, it was just a series of unfortunate events for her. Just she did the worst way to move the files possible, on the worst location possible, on a day where the backup failed, and then she waited too long to tell us about it.
And she will never correct any of those behaviors in the future.
Probably not, but this is every one of those like you kind of get what you deserve here moments.
Yep.
I mean that's a very frequent one. And Andros, we've never had a fire yet, but we have had a server issue one time, and someone we were talking to over the phone, as we're telling them that there was a server issue going on, they're like, "Oh, is that what the beeping from the server room was? It's been going off the whole day."
Oh my god, that's a UPS.
Yeah, it was the UPS failed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the UPS failed, but it didn't shut off, so it's just a bad battery, right?
Yeah, it was just a bad battery. But this server kept tripping the power limit on it because the battery was no longer there to take the load.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah. And we were just like, oh my god,
like that
please just unplug the UPS and plug the servers into the wall in the meantime. And they're like, no, we don't think we will. And so they just let the UPS screech its alarm for 3 weeks before they finally replaced the battery. Constantly having their server go down from network connection failure.
You can shut the alarm off. And
not on this one.
Unless there's some issue. What?
Yeah, not on this one.
There's supposed to be a button press a long press.
Yeah. It's a snooze. That snoozes it for 15 minutes.
No, it's supposed to be a shut the fuck up button where it mutes forever.
No, on this one it's a snooze.
Well, this is a shut the fuck up for 15 minutes button.
Yeah. Because
that's fucking useful.
It's because it was a rack UPS, I believe.
Yes, but even a rack UPS is supposed to have a shut the fuck up forever button.
Yeah, no.
And
God damn it.
Yeah.
Well, apparently these designers didn't get the memo.
Yeah, no shit. Unless there's some issue with the UPS, it shouldn't just randomly shut off, even if it's showing a large load. So if it was randomly shutting off, yeah, you would be better plugging it into the wall. Otherwise, no, leave that motherfucker plugged in.
No. See, the problem is they left the battery in, and so the battery kept shorting it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, you disconnect the battery.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't do it.
Leave the UPS plugged in.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't do any of it.
Because the UPS is still a
it's still a power strip.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
You do not plug directly into the mains, not with a server. No.
I mean, what's the worst thing?
No. The risk is no. Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah, what's the worst thing?
Oh, I don't know. You get a lightning strike that kills the motherboard and the hard drives and everything.
What if a lightning strike already killed the UPS? Everyone knows lightning doesn't happen twice.
Shut the fuck up.
Shit, I had to deal with on an on-site.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Look, I literally had an on-site one time where I was just like, look, hey, we have to replace the UPS. It's fried by the lightning strike. And they're like, well, do we need it? I was like, well, technically, no.
If you don't mind all your shit disappearing, no.
Well, no, that's the thing, is they were a branch office, and so the only device plugged into the UPS was a replicated DC server.
I mean,
that
I guess.
sounds mildly important.
Oh, it's just a replicant.
It's there for a reason.
Yeah,
Also,
it's there to...
It's proving Harrison Ford noises.
No, nothing bad happens at all. They just can't fucking sign into the domain anymore.
That's moderately...
Yeah, well, here's the difference. The replacement UPS was $7,000.
Yep, replace it.
They didn't want to, because they're fucking skinflints. All of our clients are skinflints.
Of course.
Look, we had a client.
An actual large company.
We are. One of our clients literally went to the trash heap to get new devices.
Oh my fucking god.
Excuse you?
Yeah, they would wait out by the dump, and they would pick up computers that people left for the dump and use those.
Wow.
There's no helping some people.
Yep.
And they were keeping sensitive information on those, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally.
The most sensitive.
They're retarded.
They actually left us because we kept telling them that they needed to stop using literal garbage, and they got annoyed by us telling them to actually buy product that wasn't 10 years old, because according to them, we were trying to cheat them.
Trying to cheat them? Really?
Yeah, their network went down like 5 times a day, and they blamed us for not wanting to put in the work to fix it.
Well, if your shit's busted because you're buying reclaiming busted shit from the dump.
They had to replace their domain controller about once every 2 weeks.
Fucking why?
Because the servers they were using kept burning out. Because they were using reclaimed garbage.
Even buying secondhand off of fucking Amazon or something.
They
like
were
that,
trash picking.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. No,
Yeah.
That's when you fire the customer, Sneaky.
Yeah, no, we told them we were just going to increase the cost of support for them, and they're like, oh, we're gonna go find someone that's cheaper. Meh. So they left.
Okay, have fun.
And then they came back and begged us to fix their network again, because the company they went to didn't know how to handle it.
You tell them no.
And then we fixed their shit again, charged them double. And they're like, yeah, well, we're gonna go find someone else now. And then they left again.
That's okay.
Wow, that is petty as fuck.
And
they don't
then they
learn
try
their
to come
lesson,
back.
That's fine.
They try to come back a third time.
Please tell me you said sure for triple.
No.
Please.
No.
That'll be great.
The account manager. Woman. I think she's between 40 and 50. And her response made me die laughing when she first told me what she told them. But it's something along the lines of, I didn't make it to 45 by groveling on my hands and knees to a man, and I sure as fuck ain't gonna blow one now.
Woo!
Yo, she sounds awesome.
She told that to the client, who came back to us and demanded that we lower our rates for them.
Wow.
And that's what she told him. in response.
Applause.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just like, God damn. Oh.
That was
She's
impressive.
great. I traumatize her often. Because
Of course you do.
every time a
Sneaky.
client complains, every time a
Traumatize
client
a lot.
well, yeah, but every time a client complains, I start off the conversation with her with, "Hey, good morning," and she's just like, "Oh
What
God,
have you
no,
done
what
this
now?"
time?
He's absolutely onto your bullshit at this point.
She works in the office. Like, you don't go into the office, do you, Sneaky?
No, she's in the office though, yeah.
I was gonna say, you could show up to the office with cookies. Hey, how's it going? Just to fuck with her one day.
I might.
Because if your usual "hey, how's it going" is something has gone horribly, horribly wrong and I need you to fix it, imagine what
No,
showing
no,
up with food
she's
is
an
going to
account
do.
manager, so if I'm going to her, it's not because something broke and I need her to fix it. It's because
No.
someone's so uproariously pissed about something that just happened that she's gonna have to work the entire day on overtime, smoothing it over.
Yes. So that is the reaction to your normal "hey, how's it going." Now imagine that coupled with like a plate of cookies. She go, ooh, that's gonna drive that woman up a wall.
I sent her a meme one time of Bernie Sanders, and because her, my manager, and the customer primary all have permission to unlock tasks for closing. And this is for clients that just don't want a task closed without their personal approval, or worked on without their personal approval.
That's weird.
Ugh.
I mean, I sort of get it, where it's like, oh, well, I don't want random employee 12 calling in and saying, "Hey guys, I need a new computer," or "Hey guys, can you add this printer?" or "Hey guys,
Yeah, that's fair.
install this program."
Yeah.
Now, most companies, don't get me wrong, are just like, I don't fucking care, just let them do it. And in response, the majority of their employees are like, not abusing that ability to call us in to do shit, because they're like, oh, well, I probably shouldn't ask IT to help me install Steam on a company computer.
Yeah.
So they don't. But we find
Yeah.
out
Yeah,
anyway,
probably
because they
not.
usually break something in the process of trying to circumvent the admin privileges, but, you know, different story. But I sent her the meme one time because this one customer was very strict on what they allowed their employees to submit requests for. But they were also very forgetful that they had this restriction on. So even though they would tell us to work on it, they would not unlock the task. So I had to constantly go to my manager, who rarely ever responded, or the account manager, to get them to unlock the task. And it got to the point where one day I just sent her a Bernie meme with the redubbed text, "I'm once again asking you to unlock the task." And she's like, "Thank you for the meme. That just made my day. I'm dying laughing now." I'm like, yes! Mission accomplished. But, yeah, anyway, fanfiction and shit. This guy is a real hardcore fan of Dragon Ball Z, My Hero Academia.
I'm sorry. That just I know that's not it, but the way you strung that together makes it sound like one continuous weird ass Dragon Ball.
You know what?
Yes.
I believe it.
Goku shows up. All Might? Can I punch him?
Yes.
Oh no. It's a bridged Goku.
It's
Yes.
a Goku. He must go further beyond. All Might. Yes, you know. Plus Ultra.
They chest bump each other out of the universe.
Now, I will say, someone very much amused me in a recent Oblivion fic, where they introduced fist bumping to Nords.
Oh, dude, Nords would love that shit.
That's exactly what happened. Is the Nord looks at the fist really confused, and the guy's like, "Well, it's a fist bump. You bump my fist to, show respect." And he goes, "That is the most Nord thing I have ever heard. I love it." Fist bump.
How have we not?
I'm
been
gonna
doing
show
this?
everyone
I did not
this.
think of this.
So then the character ran off and started fist bumping everyone. And everyone's like, "Yeah, fist bump." But
the next thing I'm going to introduce the Nords to, Sneaky,
yeah,
the bro chest bump.
of course.
But here's the thing: absolutely start with them and tell them it's a female warrior salute.
True.
Yes.
True.
Now, of course, there were some men who did get accepted, really feminine men, but they got accepted, so they spread it too. But it originally started as a female warrior salute. And
Profile updated
couples.
2024, created 2021. He's 21 years old. He was born in 2000?
Shut the fuck up. Nobody who was born after 2000 is real.
Well, yeah, because he names DBZ, My Hero Academia, Yu Yu Hakusho, One Punch Man, Hunter x Hunter, Rurouni Kenshin, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as his favorite animes. He also adores Ranma 1/2, which, I mean, me liking Ranma 1/2 is already a stretch, because that shit's fucking old as hell. That's in 1988 or whatever, right?
Is he, he's talking about new Ranma, isn't he?
No, I really doubt it. No.
If he's 21, man, he probably hasn't even read new or watched new Ranma.
Seen the new one.
Yeah, no, because this was updated back in July 29th, 2024. So
yeah,
long before. Yeah.
Also, new Ranma, really not as bad as people say.
Yeah, I am 24 as of writing this, and I'm Ethiopian in college, and I'm a vegan. I've been a vegan a whole year. And I'm still going strong. Hopefully, I'll survive to be vegan forever. I am Christian. That's all the information I'll tell you. Uh-huh. The first fanfic I ever wrote, and the only fanfic I've ever completed, was Pokemon Crimson Gold. That being said, it's very outdated and immature, so I don't recommend it or like it. You also shouldn't read my story Metal Platinum. It's better than Crimson Gold, but very edgy. The current fanfic I'm writing is Neo Platinum, of course. It's the same fic as Metal Platinum, but better. Of course.
It's the same
it
thing,
uses the same plot, but I improved it. Metal Platinum served as a rough draft for Neo Platinum. Honestly, I would delete Metal Platinum, but I have nostalgia for it. Well, we just continue to prove the meme of "don't worry, someone who's vegan will tell you." True. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, we have Light Shines Before Dawn, and then we have Pokemon Neo Platinum, which are apparently separate stories. So apparently, the light that shines before dawn is his V3 of Platinum, because Metal Platinum was his first attempt at Platinum, Neo Platinum was his second attempt at Platinum, and then Light Shines Before Dawn was his third attempt at writing Platinum.
Dude, maybe just give it the fuck up. It's not meant to be.
Metal Platinum was 100k words long before it died. Neo Platinum was 300k words long before it died. And The Light That Shines Before Dawn is 120k words as of right now, 4 hours ago. Yeah, you know, I'm just kind of really, I feel like if you get to the state where you're at a V3 for the entire story, it's like, I can understand, like, rewriting a chapter or two, and it's like, alright, fine. But if, like, you are rewriting an entire book, like, you were at 100k words, you got to 300k words on your second try, so you've rewritten 4 books worth of plot. And that's being generous with the book size. If we're being ungenerous with the book size, we're talking about 6 books worth of plot. That's crazy. You've rewritten 6 books worth of plot twice. I think the idea isn't gonna work. However you're trying to make it work, it doesn't work that way.
No.
I mean, just in general, I think the serialization attempts, that's a very common thing in the Pokemon section, the serialization stories. I don't think they're that great. They generally aren't interesting because it's usually just gonna follow the anime. Except, like, maybe Ash doesn't show up and it's just, like, what if Dawn was the main character, but all of the events of the anime still happen? And it doesn't really deviate all that much, and doesn't really change up anything all that much, and it's just Dawn just does the things that Ash would have done instead. Except,
but shittily.
But better because she's smart, or clever, or whatever. Yeah, it's just... I think fan art works, right? You just want to draw a picture of Samus, so you draw a picture of Samus. As long as you're not tracing a picture of Samus, I think it works. You don't need to add anything special. You don't need to be, this is my Samus AU. You don't need to... You can rehash Samus exactly as it is in canon at any moment of canon, and people will fucking love it. But if you rehash canon as a written work, I think it's the difference in time investment, it's the difference in structure of the media, where a picture can just be a picture. It can be a picture of something you enjoy, it can be a picture of something you hate, it can be a picture to show your love for that thing, it can be a picture to show a what-if question, right? And a picture is worth 1,000 words, yada yada. But worth 1,000 words, not is 1,000 words. And I think that's the difference, is a story is supposed to be a story. There is a point to it beyond it just being there for you to look at and enjoy. Like, a story, even if it's not telling a moral lesson, it's supposed to do something. It's a fable, you know? And if a story doesn't live up to the idea of a fable, of a legend, of a myth, then it's kind of like, what's the point of it? If you're just retelling a story that someone already told me, but in a worse way, why am I bothering listening to you? If I want to go see the original story, I'll just go see the original story. So, yeah, fanfiction does get it is a difficulty spike. And trying to novelize anime, or trying to novelize a video game into the what you think is the canonical route. I mean, the same thing fucking happens to the Dark Souls games, the Elden Ring games, you know, games like that, Oblivion, where people try to novelize their playthrough.
Oh.
And it's like, buddy, everyone knows how this goes. Everyone knows the stations of canon you're gonna touch on. You have to do something more with the story.
Something, dare I say it, novel.
Yeah, they have to be novel.
Right.
And I think what it is, for a lot of people I've talked to over the years when it comes to stories, is I've seen a lot of people obsess over the idea of being unique. And if they can't be unique, they want to be the prima guide. If they can't have a unique story, they want to be the prima guide to the story. Now, I realize me using this example rapidly ages my lifespan and reveals to everyone how old exactly I am.
Yeah, thanks for that undirected cursive. As if I hadn't hit myself with one already.
Oh, hey,
I
you
just
want to
needed
know
another
what? You
one.
want to know something that I keep as one of my favorite items of all time? You know what I keep sitting in my desk in my important papers drawer? The Hobbit
Prima guide.
video game Prima strategy guide.
Man, the Oblivion... I'm so sad I got rid of the Oblivion Prima strategy guide. That shit was so good. Oh my god. There was so much information in that Prima guide. It's insane. There was developer commentary in that Prima guide. It was so good. That was like the peak of Prima guides.
Yeah. Did anyone else ever play that Hobbit game that came out on PC?
Yes.
Way before the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yep, I remember it.
Surprisingly good.
It was a game. Young me was not impressed. Young me was not impressed. Now, High Guardian Spice. I remember High Guardian Spice, and only in the scant few videos people made about how awful it was. High Guardian Spice was like one of those videos, or shows, I guess, in that you couldn't monetize hate of it because it was just so mediocre in how garbage it was. Like, it wasn't even like over the top garbage, it was just generic garbage, and it wasn't even defiling anything. So you couldn't even like build rage off of it defiling a previously like property. So like people looked at it. It's that Boondocks thing, right? You know, where it's just like, you know, aren't you gonna throw your life away raging at Star Wars? Wait a second, you're High Guardian Spice. I don't care about you. And you just go on your day. But it's exactly that, where it's like Star Wars, you can at least get angry about the defilement of a childhood memory. But with High Guardian Spice, it's like, I neither expected anything from you, nor cared about anything you produced. You're made by people I hate, and you're terrible.
Innovate, man.
So, I don't even care that you failed. Like, it's not even like a... There's no energy to spend on your failure, because...
Yep. Well, it's not like
I don't
Ruby
give
where
a shit.
it fails potential. It's just like... It's just shit. There's
Yeah,
nothing to care about.
like, yeah, there wasn't even any potential, like, it's not like Ruby, where there was potential to be disappointed at it failing. There was never potential, there was never excitement around it, there was never interest around it, and then it failed, and everyone kind of looked at it like, well, alright. It's
Yep,
like...
I would say, speaking of things that failed, oh damn, Nose isn't here anymore. I was gonna make him angry by bringing up something I forced him to play in college.
Nice.
Damn.
True.
You guys should all ping Nose and tell him how much you love the game Ark Rise Fantasia. You don't need to have watched it. You don't need to have played anything about it.
I have that game sitting around.
Just tell Nose that you really like it. Do it now.
What's wrong with the game? I have it.
So you know what? I'll give credit where it's due, and we've done this before. I'll give credit where it's due. The author's grammar is good. The structure of sentences for their V3 story is good. Their storytelling pacing, just scrolling through, is good enough. So, I'll link this here. If anyone wants to try and read a novelization of Platinum, there it is. You know what? I'll even give this the honorary position of mid-rec.
That's impressive.
With the caveat that I never read it.
Fair enough.
High Guardian Spice as if Ruby was produced to be Disney.
No, by Disney XD.
By Disney XD, oh yeah.
I honestly don't know if that's even accurate, because I honestly don't remember the basic premise other than it was like a bunch of schoolgirls learn magic and shit. It wasn't.
And they were all gay or something.
At least with Ruby, it kind of set this whole idea of like deer hunters, they're killing the world, save the world. And that was kind of set it up. Whereas High Guardian Spice, I don't think they really had anything like that. Like,
yeah, see that's the problem. Is there was no looming threat as far as I remember. Beyond looming threat that's easily handleable by the main cast because they're such awesome girl bosses who are gay and queer and mentally disabled. But yeah, no, there was like nothing really striking, I guess you could say, about the bad guys. If they were ever shown, I don't remember the bad guys ever being shown for anything for High Guardian Spice. It was always just about the main cast, and about how cool the main cast was, because they were cool. Why are you asking if they're cool? They are, obviously, cool. It was someone's D&D campaign.
High Guardian Spice was a D&D campaign?
I could see it.
Wouldn't be
Yeah, no,
surprised.
I've seen a lot of really lame D&D campaigns. I can believe it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I can totally believe it. No, but it's like Ruby. Like Ruby, for example, Monty Ohm did a great job in presentation. The red trailer was possibly the best way to advertise Ruby.
Listen, the red trailer was fantastic. Honestly, I'm gonna bring in some current century brain rot. All 4 of those trailers, well, okay, 3 out of 4 trailers were fucking aura farming.
I hate you. Get out.
I'm sorry, you said words, but I didn't understand the meaning behind them.
It either.
Okay, no, so I actually sort of understand this because I've seen some YouTube videos where they use this terminology. So aura farming is basically scenes specifically set up to showcase the character in a way where if they were in like Bleach or something, they would have like an outline of power and there would be like lines in the air to show that there's like an oppressive air to them.
And there'd be kick-ass music playing. And
yeah, they'd have their own soundtrack, etc. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense, but it just sounds stupid anyways.
Oh no, it 100% sounds stupid, but I can sort of get it. It's one of those things where it sounds
when they
stupid.
Show you
it's like, oh.
When they set it up with the right picture, like it sounds stupid, but like when it's set up with the correct pictures, nah, like you get it, right? Like, right when it's the picture of Jotaro. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, there's a distinct aura that is occurring here.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And it's aura farming because it's setting up the scene specifically so that aura occurs. You are farming the aura.
Okay.
That sounds so fucking dumb.
It's just another way to say that they're hyping somebody up. Like,
it's a hype moment. Yeah.
But of course, God forbid Zoomers refer to anything in any sort of sensible language.
Did they put any sort of perhaps a tax on that aura farming? A fandom tax?
What?
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 The fuck are you talking about, boy?
I think Sign is laughing about an old Gen Z meme.
Old man, it's time for you to go to fuck to sleep.
Take your meds.
No, he has to finish his chapter first.
Well, speaking of going to bed,
yes,
it's time for this shit show to end.
Yeah.
Very true.
I was pulling a how do you do fella kids though.
Yeah, I noticed. It worked.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work if no one understands your meme, old man.
No, I understood his meme, but the problem here is that he's trying to do a how do you fellow kids, but he's wearing an AC/DC shirt talking to Zoomers. Wrong generation, wrong meme.
Yeah.
Did you have a stroke sign?
Of course Sign has an AC/DC shirt. He was born in the 70s.
I wish I was born in the 70s. Shit.
Congrats, you'd be even older now.
I feel like I was born in the wrong generation all the time. I should have been born in like the late 60s and grown up in the 70s.
The 1840s.
The age of muscle cars and sexy pinup women. Shit, yes. American hamburgers.
Brother,
God.
that era was not as good as you think it was.
You
Anyway.
shut up. Don't you take my dreams from me.
Well, see y'all next time on Tuesday, because there is